We got a snake.
Snake? Where?
Yeah, we got a snake. It's a mamba. We got a black mamba.
Is it the mamba?
Let me know as soon as you're comfortable.
No, not comfortable yet. I'm gonna move him up further.
Yeah, just you want to secure the tail there.
There it is, the notorious black mamba, the most dangerous snake species I have ever physically interacted with. It is early morning, and it is very similar to the conditions we had the other day when we visited this mechanic's property and unfortunately came across a dead black mamba. We've gotten a call, he has seen another mamba. So we are in fast pursuit to get out to this property as fast as we can so that the snake doesn't either A, kill another dog or get killed itself. Black mambas get a bad reputation as a snake species that will actually chase after you. That is never going to be the case with any animal. They're always going to choose flight before fight. But most importantly, we need to keep ourselves safe because a bite from one of these animals is a medical emergency.
Nothing comes close to the black mamba, just due to its size and just the immense speed of these snakes. So yeah, we're gonna try avoid as much as possible having this human-mamba conflict, especially with the guys' dogs and cats. So we're gonna try to get rid of this mamba and relocate it.
So right now, Tyrone is just flipping every piece of flat material that he can find anywhere this time of day that would be perfect for snakes to be hiding. Creepy abandoned building. Nest full of wasps. We're gonna keep moving.
This is probably a needle in a haystack. Look at this. Especially a snake that's grayish black in color. Talk about crazy camo if there was a mamba in here.
Well, get on in there. Let's find that snake. Well, we've been searching for about 25 minutes now. Have not seen any snakes. Seen a lot of other things. And it's usually when you're looking for a snake that you don't find a snake. They always surprise you. Ooh, that is creepy. Oh, it's like a rodent superhighway back there. I don't know if you can see that.
We got a snake.
A snake? Where?
Yeah, we got a snake.
Is it a mamba?
It's a mamba. We got a black mamba. He's just under this little piece of tile.
Snake! Hey, there's a yellow snake.
What?
There's a yellow snake.
Hey! You got a snake? Is it the mamba?
I think it's a mamba, man.
Really, really, really? Where? Oh man, in here? You saw it?
Yeah, he's under there. He looks like a pretty big mamba.
It is a mamba.
It's definitely a mamba.
Shoot, I hope there's no hole back there. I don't see anything. Yes, I do. I see snake. Definitely see a snake back there. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's a mamba. It's grayish in coloration. All right, mamba madness at its finest right here.
That's a mamba.
That is definitely a mamba. Tyrone, what is the play?
Cool, so we're gonna just move some of the stuff that's sitting on top here. I'm gonna get a tongue on the snake. We're gonna get sort of about 50, 60 centimeters behind the head. And then we're gonna try to get another tongue on the snake just to secure it so the snake starts wiggling around, doesn't put any of us in danger.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just gonna safely secure the snake, and we're gonna go from there. We're just gonna have to be really agile. These snakes are really unpredictable, super defensive, so we just gotta be on high alert, because this is top tier, the most dangerous snake in the country here.
Okay, this is the worst case scenario because it's pinned into a corner.
Yeah.
The safest scenario for myself, the crew, and certainly the snake is gonna be to get it inside one of these tubes so we have control of the head. All right, I'm here on your command, so you let me know what you need me to do.
Cool, so we're just gonna get on right to it now. We're gonna move some of this shrapnel out the way. Yeah, you can see the big coil of the snakes right coming out the back there. We've got a big, big mamba.
Oh man, yeah.
Cool, we're going in hot.
You want me to lift it? Lift it?
That's it. Yeah, we got a black mamba.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm gonna grab it, tongs on the snake. You can see he's puffing up his neck there slightly, it's a little narrow hood. One tongue is secure. We're gonna grab the secondary part of the snake here.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Cool, the snake is secure. I'm coming out in the open area here.
Wow. That is a big snake. Okay, so you want me to get the tubes?
Yeah, let's get the tubes, Cody.
Okay, what do you think? Largest tube?
Yeah, let's go with the largest tube. We're just gently restraining the snake. We don't want to put too much pressure on him. Get his head in there. Okay, he's going, he's going. Let him go a little bit more. He's gonna reverse. Katie, do you want to grab it? Are you comfortable grabbing that? Just put him all the way up there. Let me know as soon as you're comfortable.
Yeah, I got. No, I'm not comfortable yet.
Yeah, I've still got the tongs on it. They're safe.
Okay.
And I want you to just put that back hand, so like completely holding the tube and that snake, so he's not going to reverse, because he is going to pull back.
He is going to pull back. Okay. And you don't think he can get out from there?
No, as long as you've got a good grip on him. Tell me when you're comfortable, I'm going to release the tongs. Okay,
go ahead and release the tongs. This is a nerve-wracking moment.
Okay, and you remember, he may try reverse, so if he does, just hold him quite in place there.
Okay.
You got him.
Okay. Can I work him up a little bit further?
Yeah, you can work him out a little bit further. Good work.
Oh, my hands are shaking at the moment. Wow, that is a very strong snake. Okay, well, watch your face there, sorry. There we have it. That is a black mamba, safely tubed. Rather intense situation, but that went pretty smoothly.
That's how we do it. We work safely.
I catch my breath for a minute. My heart is racing. Okay, so the snake is staying pretty calm now. Let's go out of this enclosure and get ourselves in a spot that's a little more open. If for any reason I have to drop the snake and it comes out of the tube, we're in really close quarters. So let's slowly move out. You guys move first. I'm gonna take it really, really slow. I got a really good grip. Tyrone, you want to check my grip on the snake? You think that's...
Yeah, we're good there. And let's just angle it a little bit up, just in case he shoots out. You got it. Yeah, you got a good grip. Yeah, just you want to secure the tail there. You're good, Code.
Yeah. Man, this snake is insanely strong. Whoa, man. It is intimidating to hold one of these snakes. Right now, just trying to calm my heart rate. There it is, the notorious black mamba. It's almost tough to put into words what it's like to hold on to a black mamba. This is a species that I have just read about for most of my life, always hoping that I would see one in the wild and not actually be hands-on with one, the most dangerous snake species I have ever physically interacted with. It is definitely a heart-racing encounter. Now, the black mamba, of course, gets its name from the black interior coloration of the mouth. And if I turn it like this and it opens up its mouth, we'll be able to get a really cool shot of that. The reason a bite from this snake is so potentially dangerous is because it is armed with a highly toxic, neurotoxic venom. If you're bitten by this snake, it begins to send your body into paralysis, which shuts down your major organs. So when your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, and ultimately your heart begin to cease working, that's why a bite is so dangerous. Essentially, you just straight up go into paralysis and die. If you were ever bitten by a snake like this, it is an immediate medical emergency. The big issue that we're looking at here today is the human-wildlife conflict. And people are terrified of the black mamba. Obviously, it has a negative reputation, but this is not a snake that is interested in interacting with humans. A dog was bitten. Unfortunately, that dog passed away, and the snake was killed in the process. You have that constantly happening out here, especially in rural areas. But these snakes are not to blame. We are in an area that is perfectly set up for snakes to be hunting for their food. You've got abandoned structures, you've got bags of garbage that has everything that would draw in rodents. Where you have rodents, you're going to have the reptiles that eat them. So the more you can do in your own yard to clean up the trash and make sure that you're not drawing in the prey items for these snakes, the less of your chance of actually seeing one of these snakes and ultimately interacting with it. So the last aspect to today's snake rescue is to actually relocate this snake to a place that's far away from human habitation. That will give the better chances for this snake to live out the length of its life, and of course will keep the dogs and the humans in this area completely safe. Now, is this the resident mamba that we were told about? It's possible, it is pretty sizable, but when you live in an area like this, there's always going to be another snake. So you can see why the work that Tyrone does is so incredibly important here in South Africa. And a big thanks to him for taking us out on this rescue mission. I feel completely fulfilled in that we have finally found one of these snakes that we're able to rescue. It didn't lose its life, and we're doing a good thing for the environment by getting this predator back out to where it belongs.
Okay, we found a pretty cool spot to release the mamba. We are way back off some dirt road, and we have found a beautiful dry riverbed. It is just perfect mamba habitat. Grasses, trees, likely a lot of food. So we're gonna get the snake out, and this is another success story for Tyrone in successfully rescuing and relocating a venomous snake.
Today we're filming an episode that features one of the most dangerous snakes in all of South Africa, the Mozambique spitting cobra. This reptile is primarily armed with a cytotoxic venom, and a bite becomes an immediate medical emergency. And the crew and I are going to participate in a training drill that will prepare us if the worst case scenario happens. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, time to reveal the snake. There it is, okay. And, bite! Mike, I got bit!
Coyote, freeze, back up, back up, back up. Tyrone, can you secure that snake? Hold still, okay.
Snake secured.
Snake secured, good. Mario, can you grab me that chair, please, and place it next to the pool table? Sit down. All right, let's get this shirt off real quick.
The whole shirt?
Just the side, if anything. It's fine. Calm down, just need you to stay calm. Okay, hold still.
It's gotta be that tight.
Yep, we gotta keep these things nice and tight. You're gonna see the perfect squares as they come through.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull my gloves real quick. Right.
Should I elevate my arm at all or anything?
Nope, keep it lower than your heart.
Okay.
All right, let's get you up nice and slow. Fingers tight.
Keep them together?
Yep.
Ow!
Let's keep this low, okay? Keep this low. Let's go ahead and get a move on this. We're gonna roll out, guys. Anton's already called the local hospital, and he's got the antivenom to pass into us so we can get it to the doctor as soon as possible here as well.
Oh my God.
Hey, just hang on there, dude. Hang on, it's gonna be fine. Woo!
And that is about as fast as you would need to move if that worst case scenario presents itself. If you are bitten by something like a Mozambique spitting cobra, you literally have minutes to get yourself into a vehicle and on your way to an emergency center. That was intense. Okay, now let's go film with the Mozambique spitting cobra. The KwaZulu-Natal region of South Africa is well known for its high density of reptiles. And today, we will be getting dangerously close with the Mozambique spitting cobra. This is one of the world's most advanced venomous snakes, and they're capable of doing this. Accurately spitting potent venom from a pair of modified front fangs. This venom is used as a defense, often aimed at the eyes of a would-be attacker, which in turn would give the snake a chance to escape the imposing threat. Assisting with this extreme experiment is reptile specialist Tyrone Ping. He's here to help safely wrangle the snake if things get out of control. I'm sure we are all curious to see how accurate the aim of this snake really is. And the only way to find out is to let one of these deadly reptiles spit directly at my face. All right, we are set. The Mozambique spitting cobra is right here underneath this blue bucket. Now, a lot of this might happen really quickly. These reptiles are incredibly accurate with their spitting ability. Let's see if we can catch it in slow motion. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get into position here. Woo! Definitely a little nerve-wracking. All right, Tyrone, when you're ready, let's peel back the bucket and see what happens. I'm right here, buddy. Okay, staying calm at the moment. Oh, jeez. I'm right here. I'm right here. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes, Cobra. Oh, wow. Full shot straight into my face. Holy cow. Did you guys see that? Look at the shield is completely coated. What's unique about this cobra is you'd think they would have to be completely reared up and hooding to be able to spit, but they can actually spit from that lower angle, and that's one way that they easily trick any invading predator. Think, all right, I'm gonna be able to get in there and get my food, but then the cobra does that, just like that with the face. And that accuracy is unbelievable. All I have to do is move in close, and look at that, how quick that is. And that's a little bit less of a stream than I thought, but it seems just like a bunch of mist as you're driving through, let's say, a car wash, and it's like all over. All right, going in for another spritz. The Mozambique spitting cobra is actually one of the smaller cobra species here in South Africa. But this highly evolved defensive ability of this snake specifically is what makes it so unique. And if it is able to blind anything that's potentially attacking it, that of course gives it the chance to quickly make an escape. Look at the precision All I need to do is move very slowly back and forth, and that snake does not lose its focus on where my hand is at, and specifically where my eyes are located. Let's go for one more even closer. Yeah, it's about as close as you probably want to get to a spitting cobra right there. Every single time, it makes you jolt, even though I feel completely protected behind this shield. It never gets any less nerve-wracking to be that close. Now, one of the things that's the most interesting about the fang design of this cobra species is that it has evolved over millions of years, and they have fixed front fangs, and in most instances where there's a little hole in the tip of the fang, this has a modified fang where the hole is actually in the front, and it is specialized muscles inside of the skull that allow it to spit. The closer I get, imagine if I was a leopard out there in the jungle and I approached this snake and with a paw reached out to touch that tail. You get that reaction? Oh, and there you have it. A full face full of very painful venom. Now that venom is not used in any instance for the snake to catch and kill its prey. It's only a defense mechanism. But the venom that comes from the bite specifically has neurotoxic and cytotoxic properties. This is an incredibly potent bite. And if I was bitten, it would be an immediate medical emergency, and anti-venom would definitely need to be administered if we were to save my life. But the spitting aspects, like you saw just there, will not kill you if it just gets into your eye. Wow, that was 2 double squirts right in a row. Whew. Doesn't get much crazier than that. One of the coolest and most famous influences in relation to the spitting cobra is, of course, the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. And the filmmakers took the influence of this animal's ability to design the Dilophosaurus, not only in the neck frills, but also in that ability to spit venom. And right now, I definitely feel like Dennis Nedry when it comes to getting shot in the face with toxic venom. You can see the snake is just completely locked in at the moment. And that accuracy is impressive.
Venomous snakes don't want to use their toxic powers on humans. But if you make the foolish choice to harass or interact with them, the consequences can easily put you in the hospital, or in a worst case result, 6 feet underground.
So at this point, we are going to get the shield off of me because I certainly don't want to keep walking around with all the ability to accidentally wipe my fingers on that, get anything in my eyes, or in a worst case scenario, somehow get it on Trent. You guys, you have to understand, I've never seen Trent as nervous as I was when that cobra got spit all over his camera. And I don't know if that's because Trent is afraid for his own well-being or the camera's well-being, but safety first, so we got to make sure that we get everything cleaned up as best we possibly can.
You know what I'm going to say next. But just in case you didn't pay close attention to our 25 previous snake episodes, always admire these slithering reptiles from a respectful distance. The hills of West Virginia hide within their peaks and valleys a plethora of animal species. In fact, this wild and wonderful state is one of the most biodiverse regions in the eastern U.S. On this adventure, I will be teaming up with my longtime friend and field herpetologist, Tim Brust. Tim is a backwoods bloodhound when it comes to tracking down reptiles and amphibians. The last time we worked together, he helped us find the elusive hellbender, one of the nation's most cherished salamander species.
We got him! Woo! There it is! It is an absolute giant!
That was the hardest hellbender catch I've ever had.
Wow! Oh, man.
Today we are hot on the trail of the timber rattlesnake. Hailing as one of the largest venomous snakes in North America, these pit vipers are masters of camouflage. So finding one hidden amongst the rocky crevices and outcrops will be an arduous challenge.
There's a tree down in the middle of the road that I'm gonna help Tim move.
The task required us to travel deep into West Virginia's wilderness as we pushed our vehicle to its safest limits.
Oh no. All right, we may not be going any further than this. Literally just got done talking about how we got past the toughest area of rocky terrain And we have now turned the corner. Are you kidding me? I think we're gonna be able to get past this, but it's the next bend that looks even more difficult. Look at that. Total rock slide that came down off the mountain into this. So the Jeep should be able to get over this, no problem. It's just a matter of what is up and around the corner. How far off are we from the coordinates?
Couple hours at least.
Okay, so we have made a decision at this point. We were thinking about going over the mountain and up that rock slide right there. Way too treacherous with cameras. So what we're gonna do now is go on foot down the roadway, and it is roughly 2 miles as the crow flies to get to these spots that Tim has GPS coordinated where snakes have been seen. For us, it's gonna be more than 2 miles. It's gonna be probably close to a 4 or 5 hour hike to get to the spot. So it is going on 11 o'clock now. With any luck, what's gonna happen is we're gonna reach the snake spot when they're doing their second basking for the day, which will be somewhere between 4 and 6 o'clock p.m. It's gonna be a commitment, but this is what it takes to find the timber rattlesnake.
All right, well, we found potentially the location based on Tim's phone, and he thinks maybe 300 yards down this little kind of valley is the spot. We're gonna scout it. With any luck, we're gonna actually see the location.
We just need to really know an entry point. The foliage is all so dense, whether it's trees or these scrublands and grasses. Unless you can see exactly where to go down it, you could just be descending into a ravine. So scouting with the drone is definitely giving us a bird's eye perspective of the terrain before we even embark upon heading down into it.
I think this is it. This is all on that slope.
What are you seeing? Oh,
See that?
that is all rock right there.
Open, rocky
Yes.
outcrop.
Can you get lower to see the size of those rocks though?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to.
Oh yeah, man, that's gotta be it. Look at that, that's all rocky terrain. I think we found it.
We found a spot, and I think Tim found a spot.
Okay.
He's been yelling at us, so I don't know what that means. I can't really hear him.
Maybe he has a snake?
Maybe he's got a snake.
Okay, well, let's pack up the drone. This is great. We have spent hours searching out rocky outcrops, and now we possibly have 2 potentials. One we saw on the drone, and one that Tim is calling us to come towards. Tim, did you get one? Wow. This is it right here. Perfect timber rattlesnake habitat. Now it's just a matter of searching and finding. What do you think, Mario?
Do you see how unique this habitat is? It's overgrown with some vegetation, but it also still allows for some exposed rocks so they can come out and bask. It's kind of the best of both worlds.
Okay, so basically you need to spend some time searching these rocks for snakes. It's a nice den here. Any one of these big rocks that has almost a miniaturized cave underneath it is exactly the kind of spot that we want to be looking. Now the best spots are going to be rocks exposed to the sun, part sun, part shade, so that when the sun comes out, the snake can come and warm itself up, and then when it gets too hot, it can go hunker back down in the shade. Oh, nice. What you got?
Got a little fence lizard. What's really cool about these guys is the males.
Don't fall off the cliff.
Don't lose the lizard, don't fall off the cliff. What's cool about these fence lizards is they look kind of drab in their dorsal, but on their ventrals, look at that, really beautiful. That's a nice blue. Awesome. These guys are really fast moving. I'm surprised I actually caught them. Beautiful little specimen. I'm gonna put him down. Watch him take off. There he goes. All right, let's try to catch a rattlesnake.
All right, we are in the rattlesnake spot now, but what's a little more eerie is that I think we are also in the den of a bear or maybe fox. There are bones, chunks of meat, and also some vomit, like vomited flesh. And back within here are a bunch of small pathways. And it's an area like this over here where you're usually the most nervous. You don't want to just stumble upon something that is hiding in the underbrush. Okay, I'm gonna head back over where Tim and Mario were, and we're going to keep looking for rattlesnakes.
but I don't think it gets much more dangerous than this. Rattlesnakes and a potential bear den. Okay, we are on the side of a mountain in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia right now. We have descended, I'd say close to 800, maybe 1,000 feet. And it's impossible to tell on the GoPro, but if you look out through there, you can see the open expanse of wilderness. It is beautiful, but the terrain is extremely difficult. When you look up back behind me, you can see all this rocky terrain that we have come down through. We've gotten to the point now where we've been out here for so many hours, we're thinking we need to turn back, because if we don't, we may not get to the vehicle, which then has to drive all the way down the mountain back to civilization before the sun sets. There's always the chance of finding a snake on the way back up, but at this point, we may have reached the juncture of failure. No rattlesnakes on our rattlesnake expedition, which is discouraging, but it still has been a really fun time out here exploring the backcountry of West Virginia.
It's not often that a target species manages to elude us. Yet after many hours of searching, we still hadn't seen a single rattlesnake. Then on our way back to the Jeep, we came upon a slithering surprise that we didn't expect.
Tim just called out that he found a copperhead. No rattlesnakes yet, but this is a great opportunity.
Did it go under?
I think I can lift it though.
Okay.
Here he is.
Grab him quick. All right, bag.
All right, we got a copperhead. Definitely cannot work with or present this snake on the side of this hill though, so let's take it up here and get a closer look. Okay, this is better. Now we can actually stand. Okay, let's find a good open flat spot here right behind you with this rock. I'm gonna just gently fold the edges down and let it slither out a bit on its own. There we go. Everybody just be on high alert. Snake is coming out. There he is. Okay, whoa. Now, copperheads do have a tendency to be rather spastic. Very quick snake. Okay, let me just kind of bounce it up on the snake hook like this. Ooh, struck at your camera there. Look at that defensive pose. That is strike mode at its finest right there. These are very fast striking snakes. It's definitely a species you always want to be cognizant of when you're in the environment. They're so perfectly camouflaged. Now, to really get a better look at this snake, there's a method that we can use to actually handle it called tubing, where the front of the snake will go inside of a plastic tube, and that will allow me to handle the snake without the risk of being bitten. And copperhead's staying rather calm right now, which is great. It's exactly what we want. Look at that. Now, it's really important that I keep one hand on the snake and the tube at the exact same time. What we don't want to happen is for the copperhead to wiggle out backwards and inflict a bite. That is so cool. What a beautiful reptile. Now, while the copperhead is a pit viper, it is not a rattlesnake. However, like rattlesnakes, they will sometimes wiggle just the tip of their tail against leaf litter, alerting any potential predator or even a human that, hey, if I've been spotted, I'm here in the environment and you don't want to get any closer. Now, people oftentimes confuse non-venomous snake species with copperheads or water moccasins. And you can see that very distinct banding that runs down the length of the body. It looks just like the banding on a younger northern water snake. And even the underside, the underbelly, that slight checkered patterning and the design on the dorsal scale pattern almost looks like a fox snake, another completely harmless species. So this snake does have a rather negative reputation, but as long as you don't try to interact with the snake in the environment, all it wants to do is stay completely hidden from humans. Now, when it comes to venom toxicity, this is a dangerous snake. It is not a reptile you would ever want to be bitten by. But when it comes to the venomous snakes in the United States, this is on the lower end of potency, right? So a water moccasin, which is a much larger snake, is gonna have a higher venom yield when it bites you, especially when it comes to rattlesnakes. An eastern diamondback, a timber rattlesnake, a western diamondback, bigger snake means a larger venom yield. You can see the size of this snake's head is rather small, which means it has smaller venom glands. But keep in mind, it's all about how your body reacts to venom. Just recently, somebody in Alabama was bitten by a copperhead and they died from anaphylactic shock. A bite from a snake like a copperhead could mean the end of your life. Well, we didn't manage to find our target, the timber rattlesnake, but that's okay. We still came across one of West Virginia's most iconic pit vipers, the copperhead, and getting it up close, testing out this method of tubing, totally made the adventure worthwhile. Now, before we release it right back where we found it, what I actually want to do is place it in the leaf litter to show you just how camouflaged this snake truly is.
Most people do their best to avoid interactions with snakes. A smart state of mind, especially if the species is venomous. Suffice it to say, snakes think exactly the same and do their absolute best to avoid humans. If you find yourself exploring in an area that is known to inhabit venomous snakes, your safest plan of action is to wear sturdy hiking boots, stick to well-worn trails, and most importantly, pay attention to where you are walking, and you should be completely safe.
Okay, we're gonna let the copperhead slither right back out of the snake bag. Perfect. Look at that.
The most feared animal in all of Australia is without question the saltwater crocodile. Yet fear often comes as a result of that which we don't understand. Since 2008, Crocosaurus Cove has been on a mission to educate the public by easing the bad reputation these prehistoric reptiles carry. It seems extreme, but sometimes the best way to face your fears is to get face to face with them. And while they proudly display a large collection of Australian reptiles, they are famous for their main attraction, the Cage of Death.
All right, so the guys are getting ready to be the first ones into the tube.
It's a little different. Haven't done this before.
I'm gonna actually be filming from outside behind the glass to get shots of them underwater. Then I will get inside of the tube and get my own shot at getting some epic B-roll.
What is this called again?
Cage of Death.
Oh, Mario. We're about to get in the Cage of Death.
Nice.
You're already in, actually. All right, here we go. It's gonna be a tight squeeze, huh? That's not too bad, actually. Oh, we're being lowered. Oh, we're getting lifted up. We're actually not lowering. Wasn't expecting that.
Oh, this is sturdy.
I see a croc. All right, we're officially being lowered into the water. Here goes nothing in the Cage of Death. Going in.
This is a little intimidating, I will say.
Yeah, all that's separating us and the croc is the Cage of Death.
The Cage of Death is an impenetrable plexiglass tube. At nearly 3 inches thick, it gives those who are brave enough the chance to enter the water for an unforgettable 360-degree view of the crocodiles. The saltwater crocodile dominates its environment, packing one of the most powerful bite forces on the planet. Yet it's their stealth and speed that make them so dangerous.
Oh man, did you feel that? Just totally thumped the death cage. That's a powerful animal, you can tell right there. That was crazy.
In their natural environment, they are often concealed in murky, brackish waters, so seeing them in this fashion, crystal clear water, is pretty unheard of, and it's an experience you can't have anywhere else in the world.
He's still behind you, are you? Oh man. Oh man, that was a good one.
A little scary.
All right, cool, thanks. That was super cool.
That was pretty cool.
Man, Coyote's gonna love this.
All right, we're gonna walk up and see how the guy's dive was. Tough to get shots from underneath there, but man, I bet they got some good stuff on that GoPro.
I'd do that again. Would you come back to this?
Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah.
You get right up close to these prehistoric predators. I mean, they're huge. You really don't know how big they are until you're like right in their face, in their grill.
Yeah.
Big teeth.
And then you can feel the boom. Like I can't even come close to the pounding that they.
Oh man, this is at least like 3 inches thick.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what do we reckon? Was it good?
It was awesome.
Awesome.
Loved
Right,
it.
let's get cheese out. We're going to pop that ladder straight through the middle.
Okay.
Okay.
Climb on out.
How was it?
It's cool, man. That's a big crocodile.
Well, we survived the cage of death, and now it's your turn.
How were your shots? That's the real question.
Believe it or not,
Yeah.
once you go underwater, it's clear.
Yeah, there's definitely spots where there aren't as many teeth marks.
Yeah.
You got to try to find those spots, but there's a really cool like reflection that happens. Like when you're underwater, it almost looks like there's 2 crocs.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm about to get in the water with a massive saltwater crocodile. This is going to be epic.
All right, so Mario and I survived the cage of death. Now we have bigger cameras, and it's Coyote's turn. You ready, dude?
Going into the cage of death. Now, in most instances, I'd probably try to get into this water without a cage, but that would turn into the bite episode that would be the last bite episode we ever did on the channel. So
It's actually a little nerve-wracking once you start getting into the cage itself.
okay, I'm inside the cage. Now what's happening right now is they're slowly lowering me into the water, and you can see huge saltwater crocodile right there. Getting into the water with one in the wild, absolutely impossible. So this is the best way to do it. Crocosaurus Cove, one of the coolest experiences you can have with any animal, let alone one of the most dominant reptilian predators in the world. Arguably the most dangerous non-venomous reptile that exists on our planet. I guess this is the moment where they just let you hang above the crocodile. I am literally hovering just over it. Alright, we're going down. Here we go.
The crocs who call the cove home were removed from the wild because they were considered nuisance animals. That means they were in an area where they could interact with humans. As an alternative to these crocodiles being destroyed, they were brought here, where they now serve as educational ambassadors for their species.
Alright, well there you have it. Underwater B-roll shots of the saltwater crocodile. That was awesome. Whew. I had to like basically gecko myself to the bottom of this thing the entire time because the saltwater keeps you slightly buoyant. I think I got some pretty sweet shots though. Between myself, Mark, and Mario, this was the only way to get the best saltwater crocodile shots. If you guys get the chance to visit Darwin, definitely come and check out Crocosaurus Cove. You can enter into these enclosures in the cage of death with the most dominant reptilian predator in all of Australia, the saltwater crocodile.
Entering the cage of death was definitely an experience I've wanted to have since finding Crocosaurus Cove on Instagram. And now that I have been in the cage myself, I can promise you, it's an encounter you will never forget. If you ever find yourself in Darwin, Australia, make sure to book your dive in advance by visiting their website. Or if you just like amazing pictures of crocodiles, make sure to follow them on Instagram. Over the course of my life, I have successfully caught and released over 500 snapping turtles. And my goal with each and every encounter is not to be bitten. These turtles are incredibly powerful, and their razor-sharp jaws are capable of cutting through human flesh like a hot knife through butter. It's fair to say that I have had some close calls. I have also taken some intentional bites to show you just how bad a bite can truly be.
Ah! Ah! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh, he's ripping the side of my hand. Oh my gosh!
And as we are all aware, there have also been some pretty painful and gruesome unintentional bites. No matter how careful you are, or how experienced you may be, accidents in the heat of action do occasionally happen. Get ready to witness the worst snapping turtle bite I have ever taken. Oh, if you're squeamish, I will warn you now, there will be blood.
Okay, got another turtle right around me. Okay, trying not to get bitten by another turtle. I got a turtle underneath me right now. Hold on. Huge turtle underneath my foot, huge turtle in hand. Okay, this is definitely a dangerous scenario right here. Well, it is another beautifully sunny day here in Columbus, Ohio, and we are out searching for snapping turtles. I'm back at Black Lick Woods, Ashton Pond, where some of the largest turtles in the state currently reside. You guys know the turtle I'm looking for. Maybe you remember a little episode where I caught Stumpbeak. This is where he lives, and right now I've been scouting with the binoculars and have seen several turtles moving about. Some on the back side of the pond and some over here. Which one of them is Stumpbeak? I'm not sure yet, but with any luck, we're gonna catch him and weigh him again and see if he is crested close to 60 pounds in weight. Now this is gonna be a very difficult scenario for me because I'm gonna have to go out on the kayak and be extremely stealthy. These turtles are very much in tune with their environment, and the second that they hear somebody trudging through, they immediately dive down into the murky abyss. So, me walking along the edges of this pond, not possible. Me in a kayak sneaking up in stealth mode, with any luck, we're gonna land ourselves a giant.
Black Lick Woods is home to some very large dragons, including the infamous Stumpbeak. I was originally introduced to this turtle by wildlife photographer Carl Hassel, who captured photographic evidence of this giant reptile several years ago. During the first season of Dragon Tales, I managed to land the beast, and he tipped the scales at 54 pounds. So I'm curious to learn how much he has grown in 3 years.
There he is. Right back there underneath that log, I see Stumpbeak. He is actually moving into the shallows, likely claiming dominance of that territory. And again, right now it's breeding season, guys, so these snapping turtles are duking it out, dragon power, fighting each other for the rights to breeding territory. And the giant has just moved back into that corner. Okay, let's get in the kayak. I gotta catch him now.
If I could land this behemoth for a second time, there was a chance he could become the living world record for a wild-caught common snapping turtle. The record currently hails at 76.5 pounds and dates back to the year 1988. Could this turtle, who we all know as Stumpbeak, have gained 23 pounds in 3 years?
Look at how massive this turtle is.
Only a successful catch would tell.
I'm halfway through the pond right now. I could just see the carapace breached on the other side of that log. Okay, we're gonna sneak in real quiet here. Okay, he hasn't heard me yet. Guys, this could be Stumpbeak. There he is! There he is! Big turtle, big turtle, big turtle! Nice! Okay, got another turtle right around me. Trying not to get bitten by another turtle. I got a turtle underneath me right now. Hold on. Huge turtle underneath my foot, huge turtle in hand. Okay, this is definitely a dangerous scenario right here. Got him!
I see that.
Or one. And there goes my boat. Not good. I have another huge turtle underneath my foot as well. Double dragon scenario here, part 2. Hold on. Ow! Took a bite. Bad bite. Wrong end of the turtle. Hold on. All right, gonna need some assistance.
We'll go around.
Shoot, I really want to get this turtle too. All right, I'm abandoning that turtle and we're going in towards shore. You gotta know when you've gone far enough. Okay.
You're right.
Wow, that is a giant right there. Man, I got a lot of blood coming out of my hand right now. Turtle took off the top of my finger. Most dangerous thing you can ever do is reach your finger down into the water after a turtle. All right, this is gonna need some first aid. We're gonna bring this turtle around and get him up close. We got ourselves a giant here. Yeah, I'm good. That's a big turtle. Unfortunately, it is not Stumpbeak. It's just another one of the giants that lives here at Ashton Pond.
Oh boy.
It may have been Stumpbeak underwater. I reached down, tried to get myself into a double dragon scenario, and it took the top of my finger off. As you can see, it is just the tip hanging on. Okay, let's get up there, let's get my finger wrapped, and let's get the rest of this scene. Woo! Man, I lost my boat. Woo. Well, I literally jumped into the middle of a snapping turtle fight. 2 giants battling it out. I didn't realize there were 2 there until I was up on top of the log and jumped in, and this was the first one I could grab. And I thought, okay, well, I gotta get this turtle at least away from my legs. So I reached down, hoping to feel for the top of the carapace, and unfortunately my finger went down just off the side. It turned its head and got my whole finger in its mouth. It's probably worse than it looks, or maybe not as bad as it looks. I don't know which, but when I looked at it, when it initially came up, the whole side of my finger is chomped off. You can see the blood coagulating there. And this is exactly why we need to respect snapping turtles from a safe distance, guys. Well, before I weigh the turtle, first I have to tend to my finger. I'm gonna actually cover him up, and to do that, I'm gonna get this turtle weigh bag wet, just to keep him nice and cool. Here in the sun, he will be fine, but this will also keep him calm and locked in position. You see that? Turtle under a bag, he's gonna stay put. Okay, I got a high first aid to my own finger. And what I have here is a bottle of water, some gauze, a compression bandage, Band-Aid, and a simple pocket knife. What I wanna do is just temporarily get pressure on this, stop the bleeding so that we can finish the presentation and get the weight of this turtle. Like I said, I have not caught this turtle before, so getting its weight is very important. All right, makeshift blood clot right there. And now we can continue on with the presentation of this scene. And I think this is probably a very good point in time to note that snapping turtles, even for somebody like me who is a professional and who's handled hundreds of these turtles, can occasionally get a bite on you. And I'm very lucky that the turtle did not hold onto my finger or get more of it than it did. A few stitches will fix that right up. But right now, let's take a look at this giant. Oh, hey buddy. Oh, now he's got the turtle weigh bag in his mouth. You need that back. Come on, here, I'm gonna pick him up. There we go. Hi, buddy. Look at you. That is about as perfect as it gets for a common snapping turtle specimen. Now, this is not Stumpbeak, but it is very similar in design. The carapace, which as we know is the top of the shell, looks almost identical to Stumpbeak's shell. Now, when I went back there was another turtle, and it may have been Stumpbeak that bit my finger, but this one is equally as handsome looking and certainly as healthy. This is not a 60-pound turtle, but I'm guessing it is probably somewhere close to 50. And like I said, this is a turtle that we do not yet have on record here. But let's take a look at this creature's tail. Let me turn it around for you here like this. Can you see it? Yep. Go ahead and zoom in there. A true dragon tail on this reptile. See if I can bend it down a little bit for you there. Wow, quite the beast. I'll tell you what, it's a lot harder to handle a turtle too when you're missing the tip of your finger, and I'm trying to be really, really careful right now so that I am not bitten a second time. but look at those front limbs. He is massive. Huge claws, all in perfect condition, perfect beak, eyes fully intact. You guys want to see what his plastron looks like? Here, let me lift it up for you. See just how healthy this turtle is. Look at its underside there. That is an absolute giant. And as we know, turtles and their relatives have been on the planet for over 200 million years, and you can certainly see the prehistoric nature in this creature. Hi, buddy. I know you would love to get my nose in your mouth. We're gonna try to avoid that today, okay? All right, next thing I wanna do is get the weight of this turtle so we officially have it on record. And to do that, I'm going to set him down very gently here. Hold on just a second there, buddy. Okay, I do have my trusty turtle scale with me. Now this goes up to 50 pounds in weight. I do not believe that this turtle is over 50 pounds, but I am guessing that he is close. You see that? If we hit 50 pounds, it's considered a true swamp monster. I also have my turtle weigh bag here with me. Now to do this, you stay. Sometimes they listen to me. Okay, I'm gonna gently place him down inside of the bag, and we're gonna hoist him up. This is gonna cause no harm to the turtle whatsoever, and actually inside the bag, he will be a little more calm. Just like crocodilians, when you keep their eyes covered, don't you bite the bag.
Watch your fingers.
They oftentimes stay calm. And this is tricky because once he's in the bag, then of course you don't know where the head is, and things can get dangerous. Okay, turtle is in the bag. Head is right there. Now he can still bite through the bag, so we have to be extremely careful. I'm gonna bring the turtle up, and then I'm gonna get the position of the weight. Are you good? 1, 2, 3.
Is it maxing it?
No. Okay, right there. 34 pounds is what he clocks in at. I knew he was under 50, but that is still a really, really good sized snapping turtle. All right, now the tricky part, getting him back out of the bag. Okay, the head's on that side. All right, come on, buddy. Out you go. All right. Oh, I know. Don't bite the bag. Don't bite the bag. Okay. Whoa, what a big boy. There he is. Whew. Tell you what, even at 34 pounds, that is a lot to handle right there.
So what are you gonna name him?
Well, since it's a new catch, I think we should call him Big Chomper. How about that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Remember guys, we're still looking for that world record size snapping turtle. So write in the comments section below, send us pictures on social media. I hear you hissing. Show us the pictures of the turtles you've seen, and if it looks like something that could be a world record, we may show up in your city, in your backyard, in your pond to try to land a world record snapping turtle. All right, time to get him back into the water and get me to the hospital to get this finger sewn up.
So what did we learn? Well, for starters, I didn't catch Stumpy, so that means it's still a mystery as to whether or not he has grown to world record proportions. I also learned what happens when you blindly reach your hand into the water after a snapping turtle. Ouch. But I got lucky once again, and hopefully my mishap was a clear warning that snapping turtles have the potential to be incredibly dangerous. Truth be told, I never went to the hospital, but instead cleaned the bite thoroughly and kept a close eye on it to make sure that infection did not set in. This was certainly one painful mistake, but in the end, I love turtles, even if they do occasionally try to bite my fingers off. With the setting of the hot Florida sun comes the rise of its nocturnal predators. Some of these creatures, like the American alligator, are not the kind of foe you would ever want to stumble upon while out exploring in the Everglades. And despite the fact that alligators rarely attack humans, their natural instinct is to hunt under the cover of darkness. All the more reason to steer clear of their environments at night. On this humid evening, we are back en route towards civilization after filming a selection of sunset B-roll shots. Traveling the back roads at night, believe it or not, is actually a great place to stumble upon a variety of snake species that slither up from the swampy waters and onto the asphalt to absorb the daytime's remaining heat. Much to our delight, this is exactly the scenario we encountered, and you are now about to witness one of America's most dangerous snakes.
Holy cow. Okay, I got the GoPro rolling. Mario, get the lights, get the lights. Give me that snake tong. We have got a huge water moccasin.
Here.
Give me this, give me this. It is right in the middle of the road. Go slow, go slow. Mark, kill the car. Keep the lights on though. Wow. Holy cow. That is the biggest water moccasin I have ever seen. Wow. Look at that snake. That thing is huge. All right, we're gonna wait until we've got the lights out. Massive water moccasin just in front of us here. You can't tell how big it is on the GoPro, but it is massive.
That is a huge water moccasin.
Oh, he's starting to move. He's curling into a tighter ball. I'm gonna try to come on this side of it. That's exactly what we want right there. See how it's curling up into a tight little ball? Perfect defensive pose right there. Wow, that is a massive snake. That's the water moccasin for you right there. The quintessential cottonmouth. I'm definitely gonna keep my snake tongs in between me and the snake. These snakes are capable of striking up to 3 feet in length. It will lunge its entire body forward. You can see it's puffing itself up right now, trying to be bigger, saying, I'm a big snake. Yes, we are aware that you are a big snake. In fact, this is the largest water moccasin I have ever seen. Mario, go ahead and zoom in on the back of his tail there. See that little wiggling of the tail? Mimicking the movements of a rattlesnake, trying to warn me, back up. I am agitated. You can see he's puffing up his body now. Woo! Woo! Did you see that?
Yeah.
I barely even moved, brought the snake tongs back, and it struck at me. Look at the position that his head is in right now. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I just wanna test the distance of his strike here. See if he's gonna strike again. Okay, he's got his back to you, Mark, which is good for you, not necessarily good for me. Oh, you see that? Another strike. Okay, I've kind of tested his limits. You still got an okay shot there?
Yep.
Wow. Look at how heavy-bodied this snake is. There's no way you would mistake a water moccasin of this size for just a normal water snake. And oftentimes those two species are confused for each other. As you guys know, we've done an episode in the past where we've compared the water moccasin to the water snake. And at that point, we compared two snakes that are of similar size. This thing is an absolute giant. And one way to easily identify a moccasin when it's fully adult like this, look at the banding right on the side of the face. Mario, see if you can zoom in on that there. Oh, wow, just bit the tongs. Did you see that? Okay, completely spun its body around. Go ahead and zoom in there. Get a good shot.
Let me get on my feet. He's a little closer than I'd be when laying on the ground. There.
Now, if the snake does decide to take off, Mario, Mark, you both just get up and I'll get a hold of it with the tongs or get in front of it. There you go. Now you can get a better idea of just how long this snake is. I'd say it's close to 3.5 feet in length. Ooh, an incredibly dangerous snake. Now, when I say this moccasin is big, it's almost an understatement. I want to give you guys something for scale. What I'm going to do is actually move the GoPro with the snake tongs in close to the snake. Oh, geez, struck right out at the camera. I guess he doesn't like GoPros, so that you can have something in there for scale. Can you see that?
Oh yeah.
So that's a GoPro next to the head of that snake. The snake's head is almost as large as the GoPro is. When it comes to the girth of its body, I would say in circumference, it's probably close to 6 or 7 inches, and the length of the snake is around 3 to 3.5 feet. This is without question the largest water moccasin I've ever seen. Now, as we know, the water moccasin has a very popular nickname, the cottonmouth. What they'll oftentimes do is curl up in a tight ball and then bend their head back and gape their mouth open. The inside of the mouth is bright white, just like a cotton ball. And as we know, that bright white coloration is aposematic, warning any predator that this bright color means that I am potentially toxic. Now, when you're talking copperheads versus water moccasins versus rattlesnakes, I would say that the water moccasin is pretty much right there in the middle when it comes to toxicity. Armed with a hemotoxic venom, and if you were bitten by this snake, there is no question about it, you were going to find yourself on the way to the hospital. All right, Mario, go ahead and zoom in on the snake's head. See how he's got his head positioned up like that and has a very triangular shape to it, almost looks like the spade of a shovel, the front of a shovel. That signifies that this is a venomous snake. I know we featured this snake species on the channel before, but most of those have been small to medium sized. So as we were just driving out of the Everglades here and we saw the snake, we had to stop the vehicle, get the lights out, get the cameras, and get a couple of really cool shots. All right, that's exactly what we want right there. He says curled himself up into a bit of a tighter ball. Getting Okay, or he's ready to strike, and he just completely bit down and wrapped his head around the snake tongs. Look at all of the venom on the tongs.
Let me get a shot of that real quick.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's a lot of venom.
Yeah. Now you may be asking yourself, what is this snake doing in the center of the road like this at night? We actually just finished filming sunset B-roll shots. We're getting ready to drive ourselves out of the Everglades, and here's this giant right in the middle of the road. What the snakes will do at night is come out and lay on the asphalt to warm up. Now the water moccasin is primarily a nocturnal species, so what's getting ready to do now is after it heats up, it's gonna head off into this underbrush and it's gonna begin hunting. Now, as a semi-aquatic pit viper, they have a really incredible opportunity to be in the water and hunting for things like fish and amphibians. Now, as compared to the other venomous pit vipers that we have in the United States, like rattlesnakes and copperheads, this is the only one that's actually capable of spending a significant amount of time in the water. Well, at this juncture, I think it's probably best that we gently move the snake off the side of the road so another car doesn't come and accidentally run it over. This is a pristine specimen when it comes to the quintessential water moccasin. How cool is this? Stumbling upon one of the most notorious pit vipers here in the Everglades. All right, buddy, let's move you off the road here.
Came right at me.
All right, there we go. The snake is now safely on the side of the road. He's gonna disappear into the underbrush and continue his night of hunting. See you later, big guy.
Of all the venomous snake species in the United States, it is a valid statement to say that the water moccasin is one of the most dangerous. They are quick striking and incredibly defensive if cornered. Their venom is not the most potent. However, when they deliver a bite, it usually comes with a powerful punch and a heavy yield of toxins that will most certainly send you to the hospital. It's important that you never try to catch or harass one of these snakes. And if you see one in the wild, remember that like all slithering reptiles, they simply want to be left alone. And if you walk in the opposite direction, your encounter with the notorious cottonmouth will be a completely safe one.
This summer, in the scorching deserts of the Southwest, something strange has happened. Science experts believe it may be a radioactive anomaly.
What we have here is a radioactive anomaly.
To be honest, no one really knows why normal-sized lizards have now turned into city-destroying monsters.
What's going on, Coyote Pack? It's a dark, windy night in Arizona. And this evening, we're going to take a look at two of the coolest lizards in the Southwest, the Gila monster
And the beaded lizard.
which happen to be the only two venomous lizards in the Western Hemisphere. Our goal this evening is to take a look at some of the similarities and, of course, some of the differences, and then ultimately at the end decide, are you Team Gila?
Or are you team beaded?
I don't know. We'll have to see how this all pans out. Now, Mario, to get started, it's important to note that neither of these animals were found in the wild.
That's right.
Both the Gila and the beaded were born and raised in captivity, and they are ambassadors for their species, and we are very excited to have them here hanging out with us tonight for this little educational session in venomous desert lizards.
Which means these guys are fairly tame, actually. That's why we are able to handle them the way we are. Because, of course, they are venomous.
Right.
Right.
Have to be careful, not gonna get our fingers too close to those mouths. You don't wanna take an accidental bite. That would be very painful, but we'll get to some of that in a second. I think where it all begins with these two cool lizards is in the name.
It's all in the name, right? So the Gila monster and the beaded lizard both belong to the genus Heloderma, which means studded skin.
That's right. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my lizard sideways here. And all of those little bumps that you see running down the length of each lizard's body are osteoderms.
That's right.
Little pieces of bone covered in skin and scale, which of course makes them look beaded or armored.
Right, and hence the name beaded lizard, right? All those little osteoderms look like little tiny beadwork. So the people in the range of these animals saw that and said beaded lizard.
Right, and it pretty much looks like armor coating. Now, when you look at these two lizards and you realize that they are related, and they actually are buddies, they live together in captivity, which is kind of cool. So they're very friendly. You guys don't have to worry about them possibly getting into a fight with one another. There is another really interesting and obvious difference between the two of these lizards.
Yes.
And of course, that size.
That's right. I mean, look at the size of this beaded lizard compared to the Gila monster.
Let's try to turn them sideways real quick so that everybody can just see
Look at
that difference.
That's significant.
Right.
Right? Now, you're used to seeing the Gila monster on some Brave Wilderness episodes, but we've never featured the beaded lizard. And a really cool fact is, even though the beaded lizard is larger, they can get up to 3 feet in length, so this one has a little bit more growing to do. The Gila monster is technically the largest native species, lizard species in the United States.
Right, and for a Gila monster, this is pretty much considered full grown. They can get a little bit bigger than this, but when you think about this as being a full grown Gila and that being nearly a full grown beaded lizard, that is a huge difference.
Yeah, I think the beaded gets a very big point in size.
I would agree. The beaded lizard, when it comes to size mattering, it might make a difference when it comes to hunting for your prey. Now, one thing you'll also notice is the length of the tail.
Oh, yes.
The tail has some differences, but also some similarities. Let's try to see if we can get those side by side.
Look at that. The tail of the beaded is significantly longer. The Gila monster has a little bit more of a short and stout tail. Now, they both serve a similar function and they store fat in their tails. So if you were to give a squeeze to your Gila's tail,
it's
I'm
chubby.
doing to the beaded, right? That's all a fat reserve. So a healthy Gila and beaded lizard will have a nice fat reserve in their tail.
Now, the reason for them keeping these fat reserves in their tails is that in the desert environment, sometimes if there's a prolonged drought and these lizards need to stay down in their burrows for months at a time, they can survive off of the nutrients that exist within that fat reserve in the tail.
Exactly, because both the Gila monster and the beaded lizard live in arid environments. In fact, the beaded lizard is found in Mexico down to Guatemala, whereas the Gila monster overlaps in certain ranges as the beaded lizard, but of course found in parts of the US.
Right, and it's important to note that the Gila monster is the only venomous lizard in the United States, and combined together, these are the only two venomous lizards in the Western Hemisphere.
That's right, that's
Pretty
right.
cool. Now, another similarity that these two lizards share, and you can probably notice that forked tongue sticking out back and forth, is of course that tongue structure.
Yep, the forked tongue is a extrasensory organ. It's a chemoreceptor. So if you were to look at the eyes of the Gila and the beaded, are they big?
No, they're pretty small.
Pretty tiny, yeah. They don't have good vision. So they actually rely on their forked tongue, their excellent sense of hearing, and sense of smell to detect prey and predators. And that leads to a very good question. What do Gila monsters and beadeds eat?
Well, it's important to note that they're very slow moving, so they're
Right.
not exactly gonna chase down a jackrabbit or a roadrunner.
Check this out, Ready? That's about top speed.
Yeah,
They're not fast.
slow moving. It's like a tortoise for the most part, which means they're opportunistic. The easier the meal that they can consume, the better it's going to be for the lizard. So they're famous for being able to rob bird nests of their eggs or their young. Where else might you find young animals?
Right, so they're nest specialists. Now, one thing to consider is ground nesting birds, right? They're not going up into the trees and raiding a nest, although the beadeds are semi-arboreal, so sometimes they do. But primarily stuff that's on the ground, like little rodents and such that are gonna make their nest in burrows. They'll go in there and they'll actually raid the nest.
So when you think about the fact that these guys are opportunistic and they'll take the easiest meal possible, they're venomous. How is that venom necessarily working to consume their prey if they don't have to slow something down like the bite of a rattlesnake?
Great question, right? Most snakes will utilize their venom to dispatch their prey items, but it is believed that Gila monsters and beaded lizards use their venom primarily as defense, right? So because they're slow moving, they're subject to predation themselves from coyotes, bobcats, and such, so they have to defend themselves with that venom.
Right, and it's very important to note that the venom glands in both the Gila monster and the beaded lizard are in the lower jaw. It's not like a rattlesnake that's got a venom gland up on the roof of its head with hinged fangs. These guys have fixed teeth. They're very sharp, turned backwards, and when this animal bites and grabs onto something, it essentially has to chew in the venom, which works up through its teeth, grooves in the teeth, and then mixes into the saliva. Now, given the fact that both of these lizards are venomous, I'm sure one burning question you all have is which bite is more painful, the Gila monster or the beaded lizard?
Well, you've experienced the Gila monster bite, so do you want to explain a little bit of how that felt?
Sure, yeah, the Gila monster bite, which was an accidental bite, I must add, was one of the most painful and excruciating experiences I have ever been through. My finger was in the mouth of the Gila monster for probably less than a second, and still I was envenomated, and the pain lasts for nearly 8 hours. So when it comes to the venom compounds, the makeup of that venom, Mario, which venom would you say is more potent?
Well, I'm not gonna get bitten by the beaded, so...
Good, we're not doing any bites in this episode.
So I'm not gonna necessarily compare side by side, but they're both in the same genus Hyloderma, which means that their venom components are gonna be practically identical. But because of the size of the beaded, I think it might deliver more venom, and the mechanical bite itself might be stronger.
Okay, so we're going to give the beaded lizard the point for the more impactful and possibly painful bite based on size and venom yield.
I think so, I think so.
And I have to give you guys the warning, if you see one of these lizards in the wild, whether it's a Gila monster or a beaded lizard, admire it from a safe distance. I learned the hard way. They may look slow, but if they need to move quickly, trust me, they can spin their bodies around in the blink of an eye, and if you get your finger, your toe, your hand, anything stuck in the jaws of this lizard, it is going to be a very painful experience.
And it's also important to note that these animals are extremely rare, and they are a protected species. You cannot handle, harass, kill a Gila monster or beaded in any part of their range because they are protected species. So the chances of encountering a Gila monster or a beaded lizard are rare. And if you do, celebrate it, right? Take a picture from a safe distance, leave it alone, and you're fine.
Now, given the fact that these lizards are slow-moving and monstrous in their own right, I could only imagine what would it be like if we were capable of shrinking down to the size of a prey item and to be in the environment, running through the Southwest, getting chased by a Gila monster or a beaded lizard. I wonder what that would be like.
This summer, in the scorching deserts of the Southwest, something strange has happened. Science experts believe it may be a radioactive anomaly.
What we have here is a radioactive anomaly.
A few credible sources point a finger at Mars, and some even think aliens are to blame. To be honest, no one really knows why normal-sized lizards have now turned into city-destroying monsters. In an attempt to find the answers, two fearless adventure-seeking men will embark upon the journey of a lifetime.
Step on it, Coyote!
Come here, Coyote. Running is futile.
Watch out for that rock!
Get ready to run.
Whoa, that would be crazy.
Yeah, tell me about it. And there you have it. We've learned some pretty cool things about the Gila monster and the beaded lizard, some similarities and some differences. The only two venomous lizards in the Western Hemisphere. Now it's up to you to decide. Which are you, Team Gila
or Team Beaded? Write
in the comment section below and tell us which one of these lizards is your favorite. Okay, it's a beautiful night in Costa Rica, and I'm sitting next to one of the most iconic snake species in this country. That is an eyelash viper. Now, we've worked with this species in the past. In fact, I found the yellow phase of this snake out in the wild several years ago. But this one here is actually an ambassador for its species that was born and raised in captivity. This snake specifically is used to help educate people about the snakes that live here in Central America and why you want to safely avoid them at all cost. Now, this snake is not necessarily as toxic as something like a fer-de-lance, which makes it the perfect subject matter for tonight. What you see here on the table are a pair of Hex Armor bite-proof gloves. Supposedly, these can withstand the bite of a venomous snake. Now, obviously, I wouldn't try this with something as large as like a Western Diamondback, an Eastern Diamondback, or a fer-de-lance, but the eyelash viper has smaller fangs, and I feel a little bit safer free-handling that snake with these gloves. We'll get to that risky entertainment in just a few moments, but first what I want to do is take an educational look at this incredible reptile. Now, the eyelash viper is an arboreal species, which means they're primarily found up in trees. And as you see the snake right here, gently clutched on this branch, it almost looks as if it's a gargoyle, staying completely still. And this is usually exactly how you will see these snakes out in the wild, waiting in ambush. They're ambush predators, and all they need to do is hang from a tree branch and wait for something to come close. They primarily feast upon animals that are going to be up in the treetops. Lizards, frogs, bats, even birds fall victim to snakes like this. And you see that position the snake's in right now? That S-curled shape, head pointing down, something gets close, it strikes out, and with those hinged fangs, injects a hemotoxic venom. Now, what's unique about the eyelash vipers as compared to many other pit viper species is that when they bite, they actually lock on. When you think of something like a fer-de-lance, it's gonna strike out, inflict a bite, let go, and then track its prey once it has succumbed to the venom. But with a snake like this that lives up in the trees, it needs to bite and hold on. If this guy bites a bat and that bat falls out of the tree, the snake's gotta go all the way down to the ground to get it. So this snake wants to bite, hold on, and then it's got its chance for a meal. The name eyelash viper, where does that name come from? If you take a real close look at the face of this snake, you'll see two little modified scales growing just above the eyes. Sort of makes it look like horns, or in this case, a pair of eyelashes. Now, scientists believe that these modified scales perhaps help them navigate through the arboreal environment, maybe pushing away plant matter, or possibly to help keep them camouflaged. These snakes are incredibly good at keeping themselves hidden within the environment. Now, if you're to go out into the Costa Rican rainforest at night, the thing that's actually dangerous is that if somebody grabs onto a branch, let's say you're moving through the environment and you grip onto something, helping yourself navigate, if one of these snakes is in the tree, that's how you're accidentally bitten. These snakes are not necessarily going to ever be aggressive towards humans unless threatened. However, if you were to unfortunately be bitten, it is a hemotoxic venom, and that means medical emergency. Now, you guys clicked on this video because the thumbnail likely has this snake close to my hand. It's like, oh my gosh, is Coyote going to get bitten by a venomous snake tonight? I'm not attempting to provoke a bite from this snake. The reason that I'm going to try to handle this snake with bite-proof gloves is because it's a fragile species, right? A snake of this size is rather delicate. It's not something that you want to squeeze and hold on to. You don't want to pin its head. You don't want to have complete control of the snake. The idea is that if I can hold it gently with these gloves, it may be a tactic that we use in the future to handle small venomous snakes. Coral snakes, sidewinders, eyelash vipers, these are perfect subject matters for using these bite-proof gloves. I also have to be aware of how close this snake gets to my face. So keeping it out in front of me like this is extremely important. Remember, they've got a rather far reach, and a snake like this can lunge forward nearly 2/3 the length of its body. If I'm bitten in the face by a snake like this, it's going to be a very bad end to my day. It takes a little bit of nerves when you start thinking about handling a venomous snake. And while in the past I've interacted with many different venomous species, to actually be hands-on with one without controlling its head is something that I have not attempted before. So if you're ready, it's time to free handle the eyelash viper. What I'm hoping is that I will be able to get it to just kind of come right out onto my hand. So you see that? The snake is backing its head up ever so slightly. Now that position right there definitely could warrant a bite. But you'll notice this snake is not aggressive in any way whatsoever. It's sensing my hand. Now you see the tongue flicking out. It's investigating me, saying, okay, this is something new in my environment, but it doesn't look like something that I would necessarily want to eat. So I'm going to gently see if I can bring it up. Oh, there we go. Let's
see if I can get you to come out here onto my hand. There we go. There we go. Okay, this is going really well so far. Really, really well. There we go. And I just want to make sure that I'm not constraining the snake too much. There we go. Oh, I'm going to keep you right there. That's perfect. I'm very happy about that position. Now, if I just keep my hand like this, you see how it's causing the snake to balance itself into a curled position. That is absolutely perfect. Now, on camera, it's tough to tell exactly how close that snake is to my face. It probably looks closer than it really is, so I don't want any of you to think, Coyote, you've got that pit viper way too close to you. Trust me, guys, it would take a huge jump for it to be able to leap out and get me in the face at this point. It's also why I'm keeping my hand slightly here blocked, just in case something crazy happens. But if I turn it like this, you can really get a great look at that snake's profile. They are just so incredibly beautiful. And like all pit vipers, they have a heat-seeking pit, and this snake is capable of sensing all sorts of different heat registers. So if this snake spots something like a lizard, this snake is using its incredible eyesight to be able to identify animals that do not have warm blood. Notice the vertical pupil. That expands and contracts based on the amount of light in the environment, which helps them to see incredibly well at night. And for anybody that's afraid of snakes, the fear, which is called ophidiophobia, you can see that this is not something that is aggressive toward humans. You may be saying to yourselves, well, Coyote, you said that this snake was born and raised in captivity. Doesn't make a difference, guys. It's behaving the exact same way that one of these snakes would in the wild. If you're not swinging your hand in front of it, if you're not poking at it with a stick, if you're simply admiring it from a safe distance, it will be a great experience. That's probably also a great spot for me to give you guys that stereotypical warning where I say never go out into the environment and try to handle a snake. Now, the people that use these Tex Armor gloves are typically professionals. Anything could happen here. I could be bitten. While I do trust the gloves, I would never want you guys to be in a position where you could accidentally receive a bite from a snake like this. Like I said earlier, the reason that I'm using these bite-proof gloves tonight is to test out whether or not free-handling smaller venomous snakes like this is a good tactic for us moving forward. So if I were to physically grab onto the snake or pin its head down with a snake hook or hold it with snake tongs, puts a lot of stress on the animal. You can see how calm it's being right now. And this is an awesome way for us to be able to get these animals up close for the cameras without putting a lot of stress on them. I'm gonna try a little experiment here. What I'm gonna do is slowly move my hand in towards the snake's nose. Not to necessarily provoke a strike, but let's just see what the aggression level is as I move my hand in toward its face. Very slowly. Look at that. Snake just basically stays in gargoyle mode. Yep, I bopped you on the nose just a tiny bit there. You can see it's kind of curled its head back in a little bit of a strike pose, saying, okay, you got close. Let's not push it too much further than that. And I won't, but that's exactly what I wanted to try to determine. Is this snake feeling completely calm because it's not restrained? It has no reason to strike out and try to bite me. Wow, what a cool experiment this was tonight. Determining that using bite-proof gloves is a great way to interact with smaller venomous snakes. It's allowed me to stay calm, the snake has stayed calm, and we've gotten a really cool Central American species up close for the cameras. The one and only eyelash viper. All right, I'm gonna place you back up on your tree branch. Sound good?
In the world of Pokemon, the tagline is you gotta catch 'em all. Today we're in Australia, and we're going to put Mario up to the ultimate Pokemon challenge. See if he can catch a frilled dragon in real life. This iconic reptile is the inspiration for the Pokemon character known as the Heliolisk. So while Mario's trying to catch the real-life version, I'm gonna be opening up several packs to see whether or not I can pull the card before he can catch the lizard. Stay tuned, because we're gonna find out who can win the ultimate Pokemon challenge.
Okay, found a nice picnic table. Seems like the right spot to set up and start my opening of Pokemon cards. Got my backpack full of goodies right here. I'm gonna be setting up multiple cameras today. There it is, the Elite Trainer box of Crown Zenith Pokemon cards. That Heliolisk might be in there somewhere. I've got 2 boxes, so I like my chances. I also have my little tiny frilled dragon that I brought with me for good luck. I actually also have walkie-talkie. Let's check in with Mario. Check, check, Coyote to Mario, just making sure the walkies work.
I read you. How's it going?
Well, I found a nice picnic table. I'm set up in the shade. I got my boxes of Crown Zenith ready to go, and I'm about to start popping some packs. See any lizards yet?
Well, we're struggling a bit right now. Not seeing much, but we're gonna continue searching.
Okay, well, good luck out there. I'm gonna start opening some packs. See ya.
Okay, bye.
Struggling already. I think I've got this thing in the can.
The tactic to search for frill lizards is kind of straightforward. Good binoculars, you're gonna look at all the trees and try to find them vertically hanging and sticking their heads out. It's very distinct. Once we do find a frill lizard, Lockie and I are gonna have to coordinate so that I could catch the lizard without it actually seeing me coming. That's the tough part. I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna catch a frill lizard. Whether I'm gonna catch it before Coyote finds the Pokemon card, I'm not sure about that, but I know if we see a lizard and it is within my range of catching, I'm gonna catch it.
Oh, come here. I think I've got something really cool. Take these.
Yep.
All right, see this tree right in front of us here?
Yep.
Look to the right of it, you see the thin tree.
Yes.
The sapling.
Okay, yep, hang on.
If it is what I think it is, this is gonna be really cool.
Is that a baby frilly?
It's a baby frilly.
Okay, so we never had any stipulations about what size frilly we were gonna catch, right?
I didn't hear anything about size in the rules.
Oh my
Usually
gosh.
the hatchlings stick to these saplings because the larger frillies don't use them as much. But that's a frilly.
Okay, here we go. Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go, let's go.
You'll see where the first branch starts to branch off on the left-hand side. He is just below that on the backhand side.
He got him. He got him. Look at that. That's a baby frilly. Is it a frilly? It's a frilly. Oh my gosh, he's tiny.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
Okay, this counts, right?
That's a frilly.
It's a frilly.
All I heard in the rules is if you catch a frilly first, you win.
Hey, Coyote, come in.
Go for Coyote.
Quick question for you. Is there a baby form of the what's it called? Heliolips? Is there like a baby form of that?
A baby heliolisk? Helioptile.
Let's just say that I think I got a helio reptile.
You have a baby frill dragon.
That's 10-4.
Oh, Helioptile, dude, that is awesome. So for context, I have not even opened up a pack of cards yet, and you've already technically found a frill dragon. But if I pull the Helioptile card, I think it kind of cancels out you catching a baby frill dragon.
Okay, well, I guess search continues for both of us.
Game on. How about that? He has already caught a baby frill dragon. Right after he tells me he's struggling, radio's back, and he's got a baby one.
Honestly, this is super cute and kind of unique, right? I mean,
very unique. I've caught a lot of adults, but I've never caught one that young.
Yeah.
You can generally tell how young they are just because they don't have the vibrant colors of an adult. Camouflage is the #1 tactic for these guys. And you can also see he's relying on that now rather than putting the frill out. If it was an adult, he'd be, getting pretty defensive by now. But this guy, he's just happy to stay as still as possible and hope that you're just gonna let him go when you're done with him.
Look at that, he thinks my finger is a little branched. I personally think this is super unique just because most people will never encounter a hatchling. And there's really no need to mess around with him because he's just hanging out. But that is as adorable as it gets for a reptile. Next step is to release this hatchling and search for an adult.
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, I think I'm ready to open up some packs here. I'm excited. All right, let's see. This one seems like a good place to start. Will there be a Heliolisk inside this pack? How crazy would it be if first card was Heliolisk? First card, Execute, not Heliolisk, whatever this guy is. Cherryub, ooh, Young Goose, that's cool. It's like a mongoose. Ooh, I got the Pokeball. All right, that's pretty good. I would say that will help me catch them all. Scyther, looks like some sort of a dragon mixed with a praying mantis. Ooh, look at this one. Palkia. and it's kind of golden hologram. I wonder if that is special. V-Star Power Star Portal, 280 HP. Not sure what that means, but some of you Pokemon fans might be excited about that. Lost Vacuum. Ooh, looks like a dustbuster. Electric. That's like an electric eel. Got the Ultra Ball there. All right, on to the next pack. Here we go.
Okay, we've spotted a frill lizard. Now the hard part is to actually sneak up on it and catch it. Lockie, come in.
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm just actually starting to see some movement from him now. He's starting to do a little bit of a head bob, so possibility that he actually sees another dragon nearby.
Is it the tree that's directly in front of me?
That's correct. Yep, the one closest to you.
No. The tree was very slippery. The lizard was onto us and it started to get higher and higher up. So I thought I was gonna be able to do some crazy parkour thing and just jump up the tree. But as soon as I touched the tree, it was super slippery and I couldn't get enough grip to go higher up. So there was a 5% chance that I would have grabbed that branch, overhanging branch, hauled myself up, gripped the tree and grabbed the lizard. Maybe a 1% chance.
I'd say closer to 1.
Yeah.
Worth a try.
All right, we're gonna go in from here. Write in the comments section below and tell us which is your favorite Pokemon. Give us some suggestions of other animals that represent animals within the Pokemon universe, and maybe we'll make another episode like this where we go out, send Mario on the mission to catch the animal, and I'll open up the packs to see if I can pull it right out of a sheet. All right, we got a Shinx. Oh, Wooloo. Oh, hot diggity dog, ladies and gentlemen. Look what we have here. There it is, the Helioptile. Coyote to Mario. Come in, Mario.
Go for Mario.
You're not gonna believe what I just pulled. I've got the baby Heliolisk.
Awesome, so I guess we're kind of tied, right? I got a baby Frilly and you got that Helioptile.
Yes, your baby dragon, while I'm sure it was awesome, I just canceled out with this little baby.
Okay, the next potential catch or card might win the challenge.
Well, may the best lizard champion win. I got more packs and you don't have that dragon yet, so I'm getting back to it. This is officially going in a sleeve. I am really excited about this. I was honestly getting a little nervous because if Mario only catches the baby dragon and I did not get a Heliolisk, he would have won. But now we've officially got a tie. All right, going at the top tier of my cards that I've opened so far, and we're moving on.
The sun's not even completely out. It's gotta be high 80s, like into maybe 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
You're gonna need to run for it.
Where's he
You're
at?
not gonna be able to see him now. So you see this tree straight through here,
Yes.
light colored, yay
Yes.
brown. He's on that back fork. He's probably as high as you can reach. I'd say just jump as high as you can reach and reach around to the back and hopefully you get a tail.
All right, here you go. Go. Got him. I got him. We got one. Got a big one. He was a runner. Okay, this is significantly bigger than the little one. And you can see, there it goes. There's only one way to show you this unique display. That's to actually get one in hand. I mean, this is like straight out of science fiction. It's ridiculous. It's like this lizard goes from being super slim to really big, and that's intimidating. If you are a predator and like you don't know that this lizard does that, you're gonna catch it, it's gonna hood up, frill out, and you're probably gonna leave it alone. Not only do they hood up, but they gape with their mouths open, and then when they hit the ground, they go bipedal. They actually run on 2 feet, and when I was chasing this one, it got up on its 2 feet, climbed the tree, nearest point of safety, and I barely got him, barely got him.
Oh, Mario, I got another one.
You got another one?
Another one. He's even bigger than that one. On the back of this tree, his head's just poking around.
Oh my gosh.
I'll hold that, give me that one.
Okay, here you go.
This whole time,
He's right there. That's
He's
a big one.
Definitely bigger than this one. That's a big boy. You can see how wide his head is.
2 frillies, better than 1.
All right, let's go.
I've lost sight of him. You're gonna have to go for a blind grab.
Oh, that's a big one. Oh my gosh. That's as big as it gets.
It's enormous. Look at the size difference.
Holy smokes, that's a dinosaur.
I've got a female here and yours is a big male. And you can see how much more defensive he is as well. Comparatively to her. She's not too worried anymore at all. She's kind of relaxed. She's got her frill back in, but look at him.
Dude, this guy is massive. Look at that frill. I mean, that is spectacular.
He's really impressive.
That's
as impressive as they get.
I think there's only one thing left to do. We got to radio into Coyote.
I think so.
And tell him we won.
All right, you do the honors.
Coyote, come in.
Coyote here.
I think you want to come over to where we're at, cause
We got 2, dude. Just come on over here, check it out. We got 2.
All right, I'm coming right now. Holy cow, all right, it looks like Mario might have caught 2 frill dragons. They're on the far side of the park over here. I can actually see them. Oh man, I think Mario's gonna win this contest unless I can open up those last 5 packs and get a holographic heliolisk. Holy cow! Oh my gosh! What?
2 frillies.
Oh my goodness!
Big male.
Dude, that is the biggest frilled dragon I have ever seen.
He's gorgeous.
I thought you guys were kidding. All right, Lockie, I'm gonna trade.
Action, mate.
Get out of town. All right, so I'm assuming probably female here, and that's the big boy. Wait, where did you guys get these?
Tree just down there. The female actually was in a very thin, small tree, jumped off. I had to chase it down. And this big boy was right here in this tree. This is probably his female, so this is probably like the dominant male in this area.
I'm borderline speechless. So I've opened up lots of packs of cards so far.
Okay.
Don't have the heliolisk yet, but look at how much this animal would have influenced that Pokemon creature.
Yes.
Even the spikes along the side of the frill look like the frill on the heliolisk. When you hold the 2 of them side by side, you can see quite a bit of difference between the male and the female. The female's so much smaller, darker in coloration. That male's got those bright orange display colors, and look at those front canine teeth.
Oh. If the camera could see my wrist right now and all the scratches, those claws are no joke. They need those claws to grip the trees. That's why they could just scale up the trees so fast.
The skin, when you describe the skin, the texture is like sandpaper. I mean, the design on the side of this thing is so prehistoric looking.
It's fantastic.
It's just crazy.
The frill is very smooth. I would say kind of like leather-ish almost, but they are scales. There are some rods of cartilage that actually extend it out. I think you gotta also check out the back of the frill. So right now, as it's frilled and looking at the camera, I could see these 2 bulges of muscles. Check that out. Do you see that? That's like its muscles to, I think, maybe expand the frill, but it's quite impressive. If this lizard were to grab a hold of you, it would hurt. Those teeth are sharp. They're designed to just crunch up insects. That's their primary diet. They're insectivores. They'll be climbing up on the trees, perched, looking at their surroundings. If something's on the ground, they're gonna jump down, snatch it up, go back up the tree.
I set the challenge for you to go out and see whether or not you could actually catch the real life Pokemon character, and sure enough, you did it. A juvenile, a female, and a male.
Yeah, you know what they say, gotta catch them all.
That's true. Well, I'd say you definitely won this challenge. Now, I do still have 5 packs of cards left, so I could get the heliolisk, but in the meantime, we're going to release these lizards back into their respective trees. And by the way, I got a prize for you since you won the contest.
All right, cool.
Yeah, stay tuned. Got some good stuff coming. I'm Coyote Peterson.
I'm Mario Decoa.
Be brave.
Stay wild.
We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, lizards, back to the trees with you.
And that's how you catch 3 field dragons in one day.
Peace. Welcome to Pokemon Live. Now you've got Mario, the ultimate lizard catcher himself.
Oh man.
So this is kind of the aftermath of the episode. We got 5 packs of Pokemon cards left, but first, Mario, I have a prize for you. The Pokemon Gotta Catch 'Em All t-shirt. I don't think that there's any way I'm going to win the challenge at this point, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say the t-shirt is yours. Hold it up for everybody, let's take a little look. Oh, it's got the Pikachu on it.
Pikachu, pinkish, retro style, cool.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, you gotta show me this Helio reptile thingy.
Now the Heliolisk could be in there. Since you've got such a hot hand at the moment, why don't you pick the next pack that I should open?
Middle one.
Yeah, that's the one right there. We're gonna hold that till the end, and if I don't get the Heliolisk out of these 4 packs, you're gonna open up that, and if you pull the Heliolisk, dude, we're gonna go crazy. All right, here we go. We've got 5 packs left. Ooh, I haven't seen this one yet, I don't think. Ball Toy. That one's kind of cool.
All right.
Tangela. Ooh, Larvesta. That's kind of neat. Snow Runt. Cute. Switch. Not to be confused with Nintendo Switch.
What's that card?
Whoa, I don't know. Crazy looking though. Wow.
Dude, you got like 2.
Dude, these might be 2 of the craziest cards I've gotten. Whoa. A Zoroark, 270 HP. Look at that thing.
Dang.
Holographic. And Simisear. Also very cool. Fireball Fever. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. Okay, put those up there in the top lineup. Got an energy card for Leaves. Carvine Plant. Ooh, Friends in Hisui. Friends in Hisui. I've not gotten that card yet. That's kind of cool. This little guy, Shaman, and of course another advertisement. Wow. Okay. Well, those were some pretty good cards right there. I have a feeling that those shiny ones are pretty special and pretty powerful. All right, I'm getting a little nervous. Is the Heliolisk going to be in here? We're down to our last 4 packs, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mr. Mime, probably one of your favorites. Kind of looks like you. We got Shinx. We got Kricketot. We've got another Pinard.
Sure.
Sure. Yanma. Ooh, we got the little cherry guy.
Whoa, what's that guy?
This one's sweet. Eevee. I think this is a really popular one. Eevee, holographic, 200 HP. That is a sweet card.
I have to admit, these illustrations are really neat.
Yeah. Rescue Carrier, Pinchurin, Giraffe Rig, and advertisement.
I mean, I know this is pretty hard work what you're doing.
Yeah, it's tough.
Cards. Have you got any paper cuts or anything like that?
No, but the tips of my fingers are getting a little bit tired. Yeah. It's really from opening the packs. Requires effort. You gotta have the right technique.
I got tore up by that Frilly.
Ooh, yeah, you did. You got a lot of cuts. Don't get any blood on my cards, bro. All right, here we go. Just a few packs left. Okay, I don't think I've seen this one yet. Aron, Potion, Seal. Look at that. Ooh, I got another Oddish. Lavaresta. Whoa, look at that. Adamant holographic card. Supporter. Sure. Oh, whoa, look at this. It's a whale. Wallalord. That's cool. That's going in my favorites pile.
Basically, Pokemon, they look at real animals and then they put them together and make different weird stuff.
Yes, they do. Oh man, this is crazy. We're getting down to the last 2 packs. Come on, Heliolisk, you have to be in here. All right, got a little love disc here. Everybody loves the love disc. And then it's an emotional draw, 70 HP. Execute, we've seen this one. Switch, we've seen this one. Starly, the cute little bird, seen that one. Oh, not looking good here. Cheeriub. Whoa, that's pretty dope. Metal Blast, I don't know, but that is a gold, shiny, wild card right there. Putting that in the awesome pile. Tauros, that's cool. It's a bull. I have not seen that one before. Definitely putting that in the cool pile. Energy Leaf, Salzer, Ultra Bar, Digging Duo. That's us, the Digging Duo.
What? The dynamic duo?
All right, it's up to you, man. If the Heliolisk is gonna happen, it's gonna happen in that pack. So you gotta change seats with me so you can put your hands here and go through the cards so that everybody can see you actually opening up the cards. This is it, last pack. Is there a Heliolisk in there? Heliolisk must be a lot rarer than we thought.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Okay,
Okay, we got this dude.
Uh-huh.
We got this dude.
Uh-huh.
We got this dude.
Shanks. Oh, it's another whale. Whalemer. I like him. He's cute.
We got this dude.
There he is, Whalemer.
Oh man, it's not looking good, guys.
Yoth. Oh my goodness! Pikachu, holographic Pikachu! Dude, that's the coolest card. No, give me. What? Pikadash. That's a crazy card. That may be the coolest card we've gotten the entire time.
Look at this.
He's my favorite.
It's like a snake constricting some thingy.
Enormous.
Okay, we got this. We got
this. It's an energy card. Friends?
I like doing this. I like the suspense.
I know. No.
I won. Me.
No Heliolisk, but honestly, I am just as excited with the Pikachu. Because if there is one icon that you can pull out of a pack of Pokemon cards, your first Pokemon experience ever, and you pull the Pikachu. I think it goes without saying, Mario has cleaned up and won the ultimate lizard catching championship here in Australia. The frilled dragons have been caught. I got some Helioptiles, little baby ones.
Though, yeah.
The Heliolisk is still out there, but this was a fantastic time. And write in the comment section below, and like I said, tell us, are there other animals that we should go after? Catch them in the wild, open up the cards, see if we can get them? Stay tuned, guys. I think this is a new series on Brave Wilderness.
Pretty cool.
A thick cloud of lore has hung for centuries over the densely forested mountains of Japan. Stories that spoke of creatures living and lurking within the shadows of the trees and deep beneath its flowing rivers. Yet, as is often the case with lore, and its tendency to be passed from storyteller to storyteller, the truth behind the tale is often skewed and quite frequently misunderstood. The Tottori Prefecture proudly hails as being one of the most remote stretches of wilderness in all of Japan. Breathtaking is the beauty that defines this wild place, and we are honored to step foot on these sacred grounds. Today, the Brave Wilderness team and I will be breaking trail for an adventure unlike any we have embarked upon before, as we join the world's leading authority in Japanese giant salamander research and conservation, Dr. Sumio Okada, also known as Okada Sensei. For over 2 decades, Okada Sensei has been tirelessly working to protect these fragile amphibians, whose breeding grounds are under the constant threat of habitat degradation due to the building of dams and embankment protection walls. The Japanese giant salamander is the second largest amphibian in the world and is considered a living fossil, as their biology has barely changed in millions of years. This, along with their cryptic nature, has shrouded them in a cloak of mystery, and you will soon understand why they have been revered as river dragons.
Wow, you can feel the energy in the air within this forest. It is ancient, and the animals that live here, these Japanese giant salamanders, are about as prehistoric as it gets. I'll tell you what, guys, the salamanders are out there. So as we get closer to sunset, we're gonna gear up and head out at night. As you know, these amphibians are nocturnal, so our best chance of coming across them will be under the cover of darkness.
Finding river dragons is not impossible under the light of day. Yet it's their nocturnal feeding habits that make them much more likely to emerge from their dens at night.
All right, guys, well, this is the spot. Dr. Okada says this is where we're getting into the river. We're gonna head upstream and hopefully find some giant salamanders. All right, lead the way.
With Okada Sensei leading us forward, the glow of our flashlight beams cut through the darkness, and the search for salamanders was underway. In nearly every episode featured on the Brave Wilderness channel, I have been the one who is expected to safely catch our target species. Yet with the giant salamander, that will not be the case. Due to their vulnerable status and cultural importance to the Japanese people, these amphibians are considered a special national monument by the Japanese government. Strict laws and licensing means only Okada Sensei and other licensed researchers are able to catch and handle giant salamanders in the wild. My job will be to spot and assist in recording data, if one is found.
I'll tell you what, guys, you wander away from the rest of the group and just spread out by yourself searching, and I just can imagine what it would be like hundreds of years ago to come across one of these creatures for the first time. You could certainly see where all of the lore and the myth would have come from. These incredible, enormous river dragons just out here in the darkness hunting amongst the current. It's exciting to be out here, and hopefully we're gonna find a big one.
Even with waders keeping our clothes dry, the chill of the water was enough to send consistent shivers down our spines. Yet the thrill of the search and the hope of encountering a true giant kept us all fighting forward. Then suddenly, as if manifested from silt and shadow, there in the ripple of broken fragments of light, the silhouette of a dragon materialized.
Wait, something right here. Right here, we got one. Got one? Yeah, look at this. Yeah, okay. Look at that, perfect ambush behavior right there. Just waiting down current with its head pointed in towards the middle of the river. Now, if a fish or a crab comes by, it's capable of just gulping it straight down into its gullet. Now, if I can take just a minute before we catch it, what I want to do is actually just slink down in the water here with the GoPro on a little light. Let's go ahead and drop those lights down lower. Is that okay for your camera? Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, let's try that. And I want to see if I can get some shots of it just naturally right there in its environment. Oh, this is great. All right, it's just holding its ground right now. It definitely can sense that we are here. And I'm able to get right up close to it. Oh, that is so cool. Wow.
That's a good one.
That is a good sized salamander. What an ancient looking creature. All right, Dr. Okada, move in for the catch. Yes. Man, I got a pretty awesome shot right there.
You got it? Whoa.
Got it.
Man,
Nice.
they could be quick.
Wow, look at that. Completely fills the inside of the net. Each salamander is unique, and we have to collect the biometric data for every one that we find. So let's get it up here on shore and get what we need. All right, guys, now before we collect the biometric data of the salamander, what I want to do, because this one is so big, is place it inside of this container so we can take an up-close look at its really cool features. Now, this will allow you guys to get a better look, and of course, us the opportunity to admire it. All right, let's go ahead and get the salamander in there. Oh, this is gonna be cool. You guys got good shots?
Yep.
Here we go. Wow. The Japanese giant salamander. Have you ever seen an amphibian of that size? It's so big, it almost doesn't fit in the container. Now, notice the shape of this salamander's head. It's wedge-shaped, it's big, it's flat. That allows them to cut through the current and certainly wedge themselves underneath rocks where, of course, they build their dens. And what's very distinct about this salamander as compared to the hellbender is look at all these fleshy little nodules on the head. We didn't see that with the hellbender. And I'm guessing, and Dr. Okada, correct me if I'm wrong, those are sensory organs, right? To help them feel around in their environment, sense chemicals, because as you can see, they have very small eyes, very poor eyesight. So they primarily rely on their chemical receptors to help them navigate their environment. Now, as you move your way down the length of the amphibian's body, you'll notice these flaps of skin, right? It looks very wrinkly. Those flaps are actually capable of helping them exchange gases within the water. Basically, this is a way for them to breathe when they're completely submerged. As we know, a lot of amphibians absorb their environment or absorb oxygen in through their skin, and the Japanese giant salamander is a perfect example of an amphibian that uses its skin to breathe. Now you notice the length between the front legs and the rear legs has quite a noticeable spread, right? That allows them to keep their body really low and squat to the basin of the river. Now, each one of these arms, and of course the legs, are very short and stumpy, but they are armed with little pads on their fingertips. They have 4 fingers up front, 5 fingers in the back, and those little nuptial pads, they're almost peach in coloration, allow them to grip to the basin of the river. Dr. Okada, can we take a look at the salamander's toes? Let's show those little nuptial pads, maybe on the back foot here. If you can just sort of lean that foot up for Mario's camera there. See if we can look at those pads. You guys see that? Go ahead and zoom in there. Now you'll notice that the feet are not really webbed
like a frog, right? There's a little bit of webbing, it looks like, at just where the toes connect to the foot, but those pads are really what they rely on to help them move through the environment. They can pretty much lock in place no matter how powerful the current. I noticed that there's like a little divot, a couple divots in the tail. Is that where it's maybe something tried to eat it or bite it?
Yeah, bitten. Where something hit the stone.
Okay, so maybe a potential predator bit at this. Of course, males will also fight with each other to protect breeding territories, or of course, as we know, the male Japanese giant salamander is oftentimes considered the den master. They look after the eggs and after the larvae. So, of course, this salamander would be defending its young if something tried to come in and consume the babies. Now, what's really cool is that when we walked up on this salamander, it was in the process of hunting. And to me, that's one of the most impressive features of this creature, is the fact that it will lay in wait in an ambush position, and then they have that enormous mouth. Their jaws spread all the way far back so they can just gulp something up straight out of the water, whether it's a crayfish or a crab, a frog, or sometimes they will even eat other salamanders. So in a sense, this amphibian can be cannibalistic. If it's a smaller Japanese giant salamander, it stands the chance of becoming a meal. All right, well, I would say at this point, we're probably ready to collect the biometric data. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna bring in the measuring tube here, and Dr. Okada is going to pick the salamander up. We're gonna put it in there and collect this important research.
The same protocol is followed for each and every salamander. As the length is carefully recorded, the weight is accurately checked, and the slippery amphibian is scanned to determine whether or not it was previously tagged. This gentle giant was already in the record books, so its biometrics will be updated, and the good news is that it appears healthy and happy. Further confirmation that this remote population, for now, is continuing to thrive.
Well, we have collected all the necessary biometric data, and it is time to release the salamander back into the wild. Dr. Okada, thank you so much for leading this expedition tonight. How awesome was this, guys? Heading into the backcountry of Japan to get up close with the one and only Japanese giant salamander.
For millions of years, these mysterious creatures lived and thrived within these ancient waters. The legends of countless stories, and the keepers of the river's spirit. Yet in less than a century, the realm of river dragons has nearly been wiped out. The future of the Japanese giant salamander is unknown, and sadly the probability of it becoming extinct is a very real threat due to the negative effects of human activity. If the nesting sites of these beautiful amphibians continue to be destroyed, with the building of dams and embankment protection walls, their fate is all but written in the concrete that is yet to be poured. For Okada-sensei, the fight to educate the public and protect the giants and their habitats that do still remain is never ending. Yet hope shines brightly as the work he so passionately enjoys is already being passed down and honored by his son with open arms and smiles of excitement. If you would like to make a difference in protecting the Japanese giant salamander and also dream of seeing these beautiful animals in the wild for yourself, make sure to visit the website that is helping to ensure that there is a future in the realm of river dragons. The giant salamander is considered a special national monument by the Japanese government, and for centuries, it has lurked in the shadows of myth and lore. Ranking as the second largest salamander species in the world, they can grow to lengths of nearly 5 feet, classifying them as monstrous in the world of amphibians. The brave wilderness team and I had the incredible honor of working alongside renowned salamander expert Dr. Sumio Okada, and we traveled deep into the wilds of the Tottori Prefecture to find and collect biometric data on these elusive river dragons.
Wait, something right here. Right here, we got one. Wow, look at that. Have you ever seen an amphibian of that size?
Due to their vulnerable status and strict licensing, only Okada-sensei was allowed to catch and handle the wild specimens. Yet when it comes to giants in captivity, the regulations are a bit more flexible. Today we are visiting the Hanzaki Research Institute of Japan. For over a decade, their mission has been to research and help to ensure the survival of the Japanese giant salamander. In the field, I did my best to learn all I could from Okada-sensei. My diligence toward being a good student in the art of giant salamander research ultimately earned my teacher's trust, and I was given the invitation to assist in the yearly data collection for the Institute's oldest, largest, and most cherished salamander, the great Osanshiro.
All right, so Okada-sensei said, wait right here. He's going up there into the enclosure to check on the salamander. Now, this is one of the largest Japanese giant salamanders ever found that is currently on record. He tells me it is absolutely enormous. It's going to dwarf anything that we saw in the field. I'm super excited. I can barely contain myself right now because I'm going to be able to get hands-on with this animal to help with the measurements. So the role is going to sort of be reversed here. I'm going to be collecting the measurements. Okada-sensei is going to be writing them down. Are you guys ready for this? We're going to see one of the largest Japanese giant salamanders ever seen.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Oh no, he's supposed to wait right here. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I'm like jumping out of my skin right now.
All right, ready?
Good.
All right.
We're ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys.
Oh, man.
You guys nervous?
I don't know, I'm excited.
Following in the footsteps of my teacher, we ascended a flight of stairs and entered the paddock of this ancient creature. Its fenced and fortified containment area wasn't necessarily designed to keep the salamander in, but instead was designed to keep any potential predators out.
Now, Okada-sensei has quarantined the biggest one down in one enclosure for us, so it's easier to find, easier for us to catch and collect the biometric data. So it's in this one.
You see it?
Oh, right there, look at that. Look, that's its nose sticking out. Whoa, hold on, get a shot, get a shot. That is a giant salamander. All right, so what we're gonna do is actually enter into the enclosure. We'll peel back these boards, gently get the salamander out into the open water. We're gonna have to get it into a net and then up here to collect the biometric data, but we'll spend a couple minutes there inside the enclosure to sort of look at some of its features and just be in awe of what this creature is. Come around like this. Right, I'll let you go in first. I'm gonna leave my pack up here, guys. All right, guys, I'm going in.
Okay, careful.
Getting into the water. Woo, that is cold. That is some cold water. All right, here, hand me your camera.
Oh boy. Here you go, Mario.
Woo! Before we get the salamander out of there, let me see if I can get a shot of it with the GoPro just hunkered down here. So it's right under here, right? Here. Okay. Let's try to move really, really slowly so that we don't muddy the water. We want to try to keep it as clear as possible. I'm gonna have to just go, sort of just go blind on this here. Hopefully the camera is picking up the salamander. You can see
it's definitely moving backwards. More of the tail's coming out the back.
A lot of debris in there. Oh, I see it, you're right. It is starting to come out the back. Well, maybe we're getting a shot. Tough to tell.
Oh man, it's big.
There it is, it's right there.
It's actually backing out the whole thing.
Oh my goodness, it is huge. That is just its tail. Its tail is like the size of a canoe paddle. This is the largest amphibian I have ever seen in my life. It's time to reveal the beast. You ready?
I do.
You do the rocks?
Yeah, and you do.
I'll get the boards?
Board.
Okay. Guys, this is something that is done once a year, removing the salamander from the breeding paddock to collect its biometric data. This is a very special day, an incredible honor for all of us to be a part of this process. This is it.
Are you ready?
This is it, yeah. Try to not disturb this silt.
Whoa.
Look at that. Are you kidding me? Look at the size of that thing. There's the head, there's the head. Look at it, it's the size of a cantaloupe. Whoa, my goodness, that is a monstrous salamander.
It's so much bigger than I thought. Wait, there's two.
Yeah, there's a smaller one in here. Smaller one in here, there's another one over here, but that is the big guy. Okada Sensei, so what's the best plan from here? Is it okay for me to go in and bring the salamander around to this side?
Yeah, and catch deep net.
Okay. Okay, got it, thank you. Now here's a question. Before we get it in the net, can you bring it up here and can I slightly lift it to reveal it for the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, before we put it in the net, because once it's in the net, it'll be really hard to see. I'm gonna actually move this smaller one into the next tube here. Come here, buddy. Oh, they're so unique feeling. There you go. You go in here. Oh, wow. This is the first contact I have made with one of these salamanders. It is incredible. Come on, big guy. There we go. And slowly coax him down through here. There we go. Wow, look at that. An absolute giant. What an ancient creature. A living fossil. This animal is well over 100 years of age. Look at how cool that thing is. Can you believe that? Look at it. Whoa. Oh, he's so slimy. Impossible to hold on to. That's why we have to use a dip net to actually get it out of here. Not only is it strong, but it's also incredibly slippery. All right, so we're gonna gently, there we go, slide down into that net. Okay, the salamander is safely inside of the dip net. So I'm gonna go up and Okada Sensei is gonna pass the giant up to me. Oh, heavy. Got it? Okay, yep. Whoa. Got him. Yep, good. Whoa, it is strong. It is heavy. Wow. All right, that is me cradling a Japanese giant salamander. Tail first?
Head first.
Head first. Okay, so that this end opens up. Yeah. Okay. Set it in here. There we go. Okay. I do have to be careful that I'm not bitten. They do have extremely sharp teeth, and this is a very large animal. So I have to gently get this opened up, and then he will slide out this end. All right, here we go. Look at that. Whoa. Look at that giant. Hi, buddy. Okay. Wow. Okay, get my hand underneath the jaw. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna gently slide it down here, Okada Sensei, so that we can fully reveal the salamander. There we go. So slippery. The layer of mucus that coats their bodies it's just like, you see that? It's like snot. Now we want to put as little stress on the creature as possible. We're going to quickly collect the biometric data, get a couple of cool shots, and then release it right back into the enclosure. But let's just take 1 second to admire the design of this animal's body. Look at how wide it is. Look at the head. And you know what? I'm looking, I can't even see the eyes. The eyes are right up front here. They have such teeny tiny little eyes. Get a little water out of there. Oh, that's good. Yes.
Wow. Its head is bigger than your head.
It is. I feel like my entire head could fit inside of its mouth, but that's not a place that you want to find yourself. Look at the tail. Enormous. Absolutely enormous. So much power in this animal, and when I was cradling it as it came up out of the enclosure, you could feel just how strong it truly was. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna end up getting is the total length of the animal. Oh, you hear that noise that it's making?
Yeah, like this.
It's like a grumbling. Oh, he's gonna push that rock, push those rocks down. Okay. Okay, cool. We've kind of got him in a good position to get the total length here. Right there? Okay. We're just gonna go with this here. We are at 49 and a half. 49 and a half is what it appears. In centimeters, that is 126 centimeters. Wow, that is a giant. Okay, so we're not gonna do the snout to vent length. It's too much to put this animal on its back to get that measurement. So the next thing we're gonna do is get the head width and also the tail height, and finally its body weight. We've got some rain rolling in, so we're gonna have to do this quickly, guys. All right, I'm gonna get the tail height first. I wanna do that at the highest point, if possible. It is right at 14. 14 centimeters? 14. 21? 21. All right, head width, 21 centimeters. Absolutely dwarfs the giant that we caught in the field. All right, so the next things to do?
Body weight.
Body weight. Okay, so how do we get the body weight?
To put it in container.
Okay, put it inside the blue container and then put that on top of this. Okay, great. So we're putting a little bit of water inside of the container just to keep the salamander hydrated. You don't want its skin to stick to the basin. All right, so we're saying that the weight of the container with the water is 16 kilograms. We will put the salamander inside and then subtract that weight from 16.
Coyote, lie down next to it real quick.
Yeah, it's almost impossible to comprehend how big this thing is. You're right, unless we get something like a human next to it for scale. Look at that. All right, now we have to do this quickly and very gently because it's very, very slippery. So we have as little chance for error as possible. Come here, big guy. Hit the first? Yep. Okay, there you go. Real gentle. All right. Oh, man. So big. Look at that. For the main episode the other night when we were in the field, we had a small container. This is as big as it gets.
So why is this giant salamander in captivity? Great question. Many years ago, during the building of a bridge system, its home was destroyed and the animal was accidentally injured by a piece of heavy machinery. The construction team quickly realized what they had found and immediately alerted the Hanzaki Institute. The good news is that the salamander survived. The bad news is that its home was destroyed, and as a displaced animal of this size and stature, it was decided that the great Osanshiro should be kept in captivity.
So that just goes to show you guys that even if an animal like this loses an appendage, something like its foot or its toes, it still has the ability to survive against all odds. I mean, this is considered a national treasure right here. When you look at an animal like this and you think to yourself, wow, this has been on the planet longer than most of us, it is certainly something that needs to be preserved, that needs to be cherished and honored. And it's really cool that this salamander is now a part of the breeding program here at the Hanzaki Institute. All right, you guys ready to get the weight?
Yep, let's get the weight.
Okay, so hands off of the container. We've got it perfectly balanced. Salamander on the scale, and we are at just about 30 kilograms. Remember, we need to take 16 away from that, so 14 kilograms is the weight of this amphibian, an absolute giant. Cannot believe it. Never thought that I would see a salamander of this size.
Man.
So cool.
All right. Cool. Do we want to look at some of its interesting characteristics?
Sure, yeah, let's take it back down off of the scale. We've only got a couple more minutes with it, and then we got to get it back into its enclosure. All right, guys, now the last thing we need to do is sort of just examine the salamander's features, make sure its feet and all the aspects of its body are in really good shape. So the first thing we're going to look at are the 4 feet here. The hands, look at that. Look at how big that hand is. Now, these salamanders have 4 toes on the front feet, and on the back feet, they have 5 toes. Check that out. And those digits are about as big in width as my fingers. Look at that. Holding hands with a Japanese giant salamander. Salamander is incredibly healthy. When you get down to here, you'll notice all of the muscle in this tail. It is just a solid mass of power. Look at that. A large rudder that helps this animal move through the environment and also to quickly maneuver itself if it needs to escape from a predator. Now look at these flaps of skin that run along the sides of the body here. They're actually able to absorb oxygen through those flaps, which helps them to breathe underwater. As we know, they also have lungs. Actually, it was just blowing some bubbles up front there.
So this animal breathes through its skin.
It can. They, of course, they have lungs. They do come to the surface to get a big gulp of air, but they can stay submerged for hours at a time, especially when the males are defending the den. As we know, the males are oftentimes called den masters. They protect the eggs, they protect the larvae.
So Coyote, what does it feel like?
Like a big, wet, muscular slinky. Go ahead, Mark. Reach down in there. Get some water on your hands first. And just give it a little pet. Feel the skin. Very dense, right?
Oh, wow. A lot different than actually I imagined it being a lot slimier. It's not that slimy.
Yeah, no, but they do secrete more mucus if they're feeling stressed. So it's really good. You can see the animal's completely calm at this point. Just keeping it in a little bit of water helps keep it hydrated. All right, well, I think we have collected all the necessary data, which means it is time for us to safely get this salamander back into its enclosure. All right. That never gets any easier.
Salamander coming in.
Got him. Good. Okay. This. All right, there we go. All right, got him.
There he is.
Oh, he's so slippery. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right, here he goes. Wow. That was cool. Okada-sensei, thank you so much for giving us the chance to get up close with this national treasure. What an incredible day for the Brave Wilderness crew, and a true honor to work with this salamander here in Japan.
Working alongside Okada-sensei in the field, and getting hands-on with Japanese giant salamanders while visiting the Hanzaki Institute was one of the most meaningful experiences the Brave Wilderness team and I have ever had. Approximately 41% of the world's amphibian species are threatened, and giant salamanders are no exception. The significance this animal holds in Japanese culture cannot be matched, and it was a true honor that we as visitors to this sacred land were entrusted with telling these stories. Over the past 2 years, we have produced more than 250 episodes on the Brave Wilderness channel, and on each adventure, we do our best to get animals up close with the cameras. However, there are many animals that have eluded me over the years, including the largest frog species in Costa Rica, the smoky jungle frog. Ah!
That's what happened last
Every time the smoky jungle frog outs me! While visiting the Caribbean coast, we spent time exploring the dense rainforests of the Costa Rican Amphibian Research Preserve. This location was a prime habitat for these giant amphibians.
Long night, battling rainstorms, and finally, it looks like we have a jungle frog that is not by its hole. But it is right next to a pond. If you can hear all those frogs croaking, this guy can literally leap off the embankment and into the water.
My biggest challenge would be getting close enough to actually catch one. These frogs are very in tune with their environment and always have an escape route nearby that allows them to quickly avoid predators.
Hold on. Jeez. All right, I'm out of here. Coming up. Yeah. Well, catching smoky jungle frogs is about the hardest thing I've faced in quite some time here in Costa Rica. But do not fear, I will catch one. Oh, this is...
We continued searching into the night and traveled deeper into the jungle where we came upon a swampy lagoon.
We do have another smoky jungle frog up here on the embankment. It is definitely gonna be way more difficult to catch than even the last one. Let's move up slow with the lights. Let me see if I can give you a shot on him, Mark. He is, look at the eye shine up there underneath that branch. You see it?
Where?
Up underneath. Like go, see this skinny log across the thick log? Look straight up from that on the embankment. See it dark right there?
No. Oh, yeah. There he is. He's right behind the leaf. Yes!
In the water.
You're right.
Oh, hold on. Oh. Unbelievably strong, unbelievably slippery. All right, I'm coming back. Hold on. All right, I'm just coming back. Hold on with 2 hands. Yes!
Nice
that
grab.
is a smoky jungle frog right there. Okay, we need to get out of this pond and into a controlled situation. Oh, what a slimy beast. Wow, okay, let's get this guy out of the pond and up onto the trail. I give you a high five except my hand is covered in frog mucus.
I appreciate that.
Yes!
All right.
Wow, what a catch.
Nice grab, man.
Finally! Yes! Not sure we could have gotten that one any better.
What a grab.
Oh, roll, 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 roll!
I'm rolling.
There it is, the famous sound that they make. Wow! That is the alarm sound that we were, oh, I hear you. They are famous for making that loud croaking alarm sound. You hear that? Now, if you were a predator, you came in here and you grabbed a hold of this frog and it did that. It would be startling and you would likely drop the frog and it would escape. I hear you, yes. Wow, the vocal cords on that frog are incredible. Now, a secondary defense is you see all this mucus that is coming off of the frog's body. That is slightly toxic and it is actually burning really bad on my fingers right now. I have a couple of cuts. You can see it looks like foam. Now, that mucus not only keeps the frog moist, but it also deters any potential predators. Oh, I know, I hear you, little buddy. Now, I'm not hurting the frog in any way whatsoever. You see it's puffing up its body. He's like a balloon right now. Yes, I know, but have you not figured out that you've already been captured? Yeah? I don't know what that was, but oh, I'm so excited we caught this frog. Now, they are incredibly strong. These back legs are solid muscle. Now, Mark, look at this frog's toes. What is it missing?
Webbing?
That's right, because this is a terrestrial species. Now, they're oftentimes living in burrows, and that is what these frogs have been escaping into all night, or up underneath root cavities. But this one was right on the edge of a pond, likely hunting, because they are ambush predators. And no wonder, look at how big it is. Wow, you are just a beast. Oh, it's incredible. Now, all amphibians have toxins in their skin. I've handled many amphibians on this trip to Costa Rica, but nothing has actually made my hands burn yet. And all of that foam and all the little small cuts on my fingers is stinging really, really bad right now. So I won't be able to hold on to the frog for too long, but what amazing coloration. Now, you can see how this frog looks just like the leaf litter. So if it was kind of down here on the ground, just hiding underneath things amongst the leaves. Now, during the day, they will do that. Just stay hidden on the forest floor. And you can see that very distinct camouflage on the back looks exactly like the cutouts in some of these leaves and the ferns. And if you lift the frog up, get that look. Oh, oh, he's squeezing me with those front arms. They're, oh, I got him. Oh.
Man, he's slippery, isn't he?
Unbelievably slippery. Well, all that
man,
mucus.
You're muddy now.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna let this one get away. This frog is definitely making us. Oh, I'm sorry, but you got mud on your face. It's okay.
Here, hold on a second. I've got a.
Yeah, you got a bottle of water.
Already.
There we go, a little drink. There we go. And we have just rinsed off a little bit. I'm covered in mud too. This probably isn't helping, but I want you guys to be able to see the beautiful camouflage of this frog's face. They're absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of like a giant wood frog. There we go.
It has gold in it.
It's you, yes. Look at the eyes, amber and gold. Beautiful, look at that. Okay, hold on just a second longer. Now, I do believe this is a male because you can see on the fingers here, they have these little hooks, and that helps them to hold on to the females during the breeding process. And actually, during breeding season, the male's forearms get significantly bigger, and one of their defense postures, and to defend their territories, because they're very territorial, they will puff up their bodies, push their arms out like big bodybuilders, and then defend their territory from other impressing males. Now, here's something that's really interesting about the tadpoles of these frogs. Now, they lay their nests in like a giant clump of foam, and as the tadpoles are developing, the ones that grow quicker end up eating the smaller ones. So, in a sense, this frog is a cannibal.
Buddy, you eat your own kind. That's kind of crazy. Wow, oh man, what a catch. And a second catch diving right there into the mud.
Can you show us the legs?
Oh, that's a risky game, but let me see what I can do here.
Yeah, I'd like to see the stripes.
I want to lose the frog. Oh. He's very slippery. Now, the mucus that he's secreting makes him even more slippery. That's about as far as I can show you right there.
Cool.
Does that help?
Yeah, it really looks like tiger stripes. That's really cool.
Now, this is the largest frog species here in Costa Rica. They do get a bit bigger than this, but as compared to the ones we've seen tonight, this is an absolute giant. Look at that frog. Wow, what a night. It took us hours, but we finally managed to catch the one amphibian that has been eluding me every time I've been in Costa Rica, the smoky jungle frog. Oh,
he's saying goodbye.
I think he's ready to go. We're gonna set him down right here, and he's gonna plop all the way back down into the water. Oh, did you see that distance? That was awesome. What a night.
On this episode of Coyote's Backyard, we will be heading out to explore a place that I consider my childhood backyard, the Holden Arboretum. Established in 1931, this wild place spans 3,600 acres in northeastern Ohio and is home to a wide variety of plants and animals. When I was a kid, I spent my summer searching this location for frogs, snakes, and turtles. So today I will be taking a trip down memory lane as I lead members of the Coyote Pack around the grounds to search for wildlife.
So if I put up these ears, if I get signal guys like this, it means I've seen something everybody be super. Oh, I guess that works. Do you want to do that? Oh, that kind of looks a little bit more like that. That's so smart. What's your name?
Rigsby.
Rigsby? Rigsby decided that this is going to be the coyote symbol. I like it. Here, give me like a coyote. Boop. Okay, so this will be the coyote symbol today, which means be quiet, something's been seen. And that's be quiet and like, everybody be super quiet. Let's see if we can catch animals. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's sneak up. You guys got your maps?
Yeah.
Coyote, what are we doing?
I don't want to hold my map anymore.
All right, so right now we are sneaking up on the Lotus Pond, which is our first spot where we're gonna actually start looking for animals. Everybody's excited. Now there are snapping turtles, snakes, and frogs that live here. It's just a matter of can we catch one? Stepping goose boom! Boom! I see a big bullfrog. See that? You guys want to try to get that frog?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, got him.
It's just a little guy. Whoa. Oh, I slipped into the water. Okay, let's bring him back here into the shade a little bit. The good news is that we have caught our first animal. But he's just a little tiny frog, right? We want to see a really big bullfrog, don't we?
Bad news.
What, that it's a little tiny one? Well, all frogs are pretty much created equal, and he is pretty cute, isn't he?
Yeah.
So, you guys know what kind of frog this is?
Bullfrog.
A bullfrog, that's right. That's a good little one. It's nice to see these little tiny frogs like this because it means the ecosystem is incredibly healthy and the tadpoles are turning into frogs. Now, a frog of this size, it's got a lot of predators out there. You guys know what would eat a frog like this? Snapping turtle, not a coyote, right? A snake could eat a frog like this, yep. And he's probably thinking to himself right now, uh-oh, look at all these Coyote Pack members. Is anybody, you wouldn't eat this frog, would you? You want to pet him? Just real gently on his back right there?
I want to pet him.
I do. I
want to pet him. Okay, stay back.
Now frogs are totally safe to catch and pet. All right, well hopefully we'll catch a bigger one, but this is a good start. So far we are 1 for 1. Watch how he swims off. You guys ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, bye buddy. Boop.
Hey, there he is.
Did he swim down and hide in the leaves?
Yeah. I saw him.
All right. Well, we caught a frog.
Should we go back
Let's call it a day.
Well, this is the part where somebody should give you a high five.
Oh yeah, who wants a high five? Boom, 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 boom. High fives all the way around.
What high five?
High fives, high fives. All right, let's go find something a little crazy.
He got something. Oh, hey, the turtle.
Sometimes you stand up in the right place at the right time. That's a pretty good sized Midland painted turtle right there. And this time of day, the turtles are just basking up on top of these weed beds, absorbing light. And I see the back of the carapace here. All of that space right there is kind of like a solar panel, right? They're relying on the sun to heat them up so that they can go out and hunt. Now, this turtle does have some algae on its shell. Oftentimes you don't see painted turtles with algae on the shells because they spend so much time basking in the sun. The sun kills the algae and then their shell is usually very smooth. But you, for some reason, because you probably live in this real mucky area, have gotten a lot of algae on you. What do you guys want to name this one?
I know.
What?
Picasso, because he's a painted.
Oh, okay, you guys want to go with Picasso?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you got to give one to Mario, otherwise he'll cry.
That's the only one, Mario.
All right, you guys ready to let Picasso go?
Yeah.
All right, Mark, you got your shots?
I did.
All right, I'm gonna just put Picasso out here in the...
I want to get that snapping turtle.
I see a snapping turtle. Sure, certainly do.
Okay.
It's 100% a snapping turtle on the far side of the pond. You guys can't see it from here. It's by those green plants. Man.
Catchable?
Yeah, definitely is. It's faced in the wrong direction. I mean, there's no way to make a play on it when it's up like that. So we're gonna ignore it for the moment, but we are gonna go around this side. The good thing about where it's positioned is we're not gonna disturb it on that side, and there's no people walking over there. So right here by these rocks, there are a lot of water snakes. So that's gonna be our immediate target. Now, good news is that I see a snapping turtle. There's potential for snapping turtles all throughout this pond. There's about 4 of them that live in here. The good news is that we see one, right?
You do not see a snapping turtle.
I do see a snapping turtle. 100% see a snapping turtle. What I'm gonna do is have you guys wait right here. Mario's gonna go with me, and I'm gonna sneak up right by these rocks here and see if I can get us a water snake. That's a turkey vulture.
All right, everybody stay back. Everybody stay back.
He's biting me.
Oh, yes, he did.
Now, everybody, this is dangerous, so we're not going to pet this one. It's very feisty. As you can see, I'm already bleeding. That is a northern water snake. You don't normally want to jump on rocks to catch snakes, but today we definitely need to see the animals, right? And that didn't take me long, did it? Now let me teach you guys a little something about water snakes. They bite, right? Now notice the pattern of this snake. The pattern is very distinct. You see that? See that speckled patterning? That kind of looks like a water moccasin, kind of looks like a copperhead. People oftentimes misidentify the northern water snake for one of those venomous species. However, this is non-venomous, but they do bite. Now, why am I bleeding as much as I am? It's not because they have big teeth, it's because they have an anticoagulant in their saliva. Has anybody ever heard that term? Anticoagulant? Basically, it causes you to bleed a lot and the blood doesn't clot, right? So it doesn't kind of stop bleeding. So this is just gonna keep dripping. See that, Mark? Yeah, and you know what else he's doing? No biting. No biting. He's also musky. Whoa, he tried to get you there. Oh, close to the camera. All right, you guys ready to put the snake back? Oh, he's trying to get my nose. You guys ready to get the snake back out in the wild? Yeah, he is bitey. All right, here we go. I'm gonna let him go right back where he came from. All right, I'm gonna set him down. Bye, buddy.
All right, so Coyote, what are we doing?
All right, I'm scanning this edge for snapping turtles. It's dark and shady right here, so it's really tough to see into the water. These geese are moving out, which is good, means it won't scare the snapping turtle once we get over there. If the geese are acting natural, it means that the environment is natural and that hopefully we can land a dragon. All right, everybody hang out here in the shade. Where is he? Okay, the snapping turtle's off this edge here. I think he went deeper, but I'm gonna sneak up on this edge just to see if I see something. I'm gonna move all along the edge of this, so you guys stay here with Mark. Okay, or Mark, you coming with me?
I'm coming with you.
Okay, Mark's coming with me. Everybody stay right here. Snapper right there.
Yep.
Ah! Yeah! Got one! Oh, that's old noseless right there. Man, he almost slipped out of my hands. He is so slimy. Ah. Woo! Now, before anybody gets any closer, I'm gonna sit down for a second. There we got one, right? Let's not get bitten by it, especially me. Now, this is noseless. I don't know if you can see from there, but he doesn't have a nose. Something happened to him early on in life, probably fighting with another turtle. But as you can see, they're very, very snappy, right? So you see where Mark is? You guys can get to about where Mark is. Don't anybody get any closer because the turtle's head is facing that direction. Okay, right there. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Awesome, guys. Now, we can pet the snapping turtle at the very end. I will turn it backwards, and one at a time, we can come up and pet its tail, okay? Now, noseless is one of the most consistent common snapping turtles that I have caught here at the Holden Arboretum. Always seems to be hunting around the edges of Heath Pond, and I still think you're incredibly handsome even though you don't have a nose because it makes you very, very unique looking. It makes you very easy to identify. Now, can we, just for like 2 seconds, can we be calm? Everybody's here, they want to see you. You know we go through this once a year. Once a year. See, he's smiling for you guys, but he would really like to bite me. So this is a common snapping turtle of about average size, right? For me to catch a turtle of this size, I'm really excited about it, right? But what would be even more exciting is a super enormous turtle. But this looks pretty big to you guys, right? Yeah. That's a pretty big turtle. Now, can we think of any predators for a snapping turtle of this size? What would eat a turtle of this size?
Nothing. Yeah.
What do you think?
Maybe an alligator? Oh, come on.
Maybe, but there's no alligator snapping turtles around here. The honest answer is only humans. Did you guys know that people make turtle soup sometimes? Yeah. No turtle soup for you. No soup for you, buddy. Don't worry about it. You're totally good. A turtle of this size really doesn't have any predators. Now, when they're smaller, baby common snapping turtles are just a little bit bigger than that. So a turtle of that size could be eaten by a bird or a larger turtle or a snake or even like a largemouth bass. You guys know what bass are, right? Yeah. All right, Mark, can you kind of see his tail from there? Yep. All right, let me kind of turn like that. You guys see that dragon-looking tail? Yeah. I have to keep a good eye on the front end. Now, one thing that I love about these turtles' tails is I'm gonna kind of really delicately, okay, noseless. Hey, buddy, I'm gonna let go with that hand. Don't you try to spin and bite me. We're gonna look at your tail. Check out those ridges. These are osteoderms, which are pieces of bone covered in skin, scale, and at this point, some really gnarly looking algae. Look at that, looks just like the tail of a dragon. Let's look at the plastron of the snapping turtle. Ready? We're bringing him up. Take a good look at that, guys. Okay, there we go. I see it. Okay, there we go. All right, you see that? Now, the plastron of the common snapping turtle is much smaller than other turtle species, and that's why they have evolved to have this very gnarled skin, sharp claws, and that powerful bite. Woo! All right, hold on 1 second, guys. Let's get a little wrap up here, and then everybody can pet Noseless's tail. How's that sound? Well, I would definitely say that that was one epic adventure. We caught all sorts of creatures, and in the end, landed one enormous common snapping turtle. You guys ready to let this turtle go? Yeah! All right! Say thanks, Noseless!
Thank you, Noseless! Bye-bye, Noseless. Bye, Noseless.
Woo!
Nice.
All right.
The Holden Arboretum is a location that is truly near and dear to my heart, and I visit every chance that I get. Their continued preservation of the natural world has defined them as one of the top locations in the United States to enjoy both plants and native animals. For me, being given the opportunity to lead members of the Coyote pack around Holden Arboretum was like being a kid again. And I hope moving into the future that these young adventurers and animal enthusiasts will help carry on my love and excitement for this very special place. Over the years, we have featured a plethora of frog species. Some of them were tiny and poisonous. Some of them jumped on my face. Some of them were giant and screamy.
There it is, the famous sound that they make. Wow!
And some of them were even semi-transparent. The point is that I was able to safely catch and successfully get them up close for the cameras so we could learn about what makes them so unique. But what if I told you that there was a frog that was impossible to catch and was also blue? Hold up, a blue frog? Yes, you heard me right, a blue frog. This encounter happened on the island of Middle Bass, located in Lake Erie. The following series of events will play out in chronological order. Prepare yourselves, because you are about to witness the unbelievable.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Dude, that is a blue frog. Look at that frog.
Where?
Right there. Oh my gosh, we gotta catch this frog, guys. I can't believe what I'm looking at. This is insane. I've actually read about this before. This is insanely rare. Every once in a while, based on limitations within genetic dynamics, a frog will sometimes lose pigmentation through its genetic line and will be blue in coloration. I mean, we are talking about a literal unicorn right here. This is crazy. Oh, he moved. There he is, I still see him. Oh, he can't make it through there. Oh, whoa. Oh, yes. Maybe he'll come back this way. Still see him? Dude, that was crazy. That was crazy. Okay, hold on, I'm coming back to you. I think we need to come back at night. If we come back at night and we see that frog, I can spot it with a flashlight, and I don't think it'll jump. I couldn't even get close.
Okay.
If we can catch that frog, holy cow, that will be insane. A blue frog. I cannot believe what I just saw. If he comes back out at night, we're definitely gonna get him.
Let's do it.
So how do you catch the uncatchable frog? I'm gonna build a contraption. When I chased after this frog, the first thing it did was hop across all the duckweed and disappear back and into the swamp. And I've got this long wooden beam, and I'm going to secure my net to the beam. If I don't have to touch the water, even better. Now, bullfrogs have a tendency to be pretty territorial, so I think even though the fact that I chased it back into the marsh, it's still going to return to that spot to defend its little claim right there. That is good and secure and will give me several more feet of reach. All right, guys, this is it. We're gonna catch ourselves a blue bullfrog. Okay, guys, sun has set. We're gonna catch ourselves a blue bullfrog. Okay, it's just down the way here. Let's sneak up and see if it's back in its spot. There he is.
Okay.
Right there, and he's way closer to me. Oh, shoot. Okay, this frog is definitely tough to catch. Definitely knows that we're onto him. Oh!
Don't do it by hand. It's gonna be slippy. Use the net. Put it right under him. Oh!
Okay. You could go from behind.
Hang on, let me get the light on him.
There he goes, right there. He's going.
Oh, there it goes.
I see him.
Still there.
I gotta go on the other side of that fence.
Okay. I think we're gonna get him.
The length of the net is now actually hurting me.
Oh.
I see him.
Oh. Dang it.
Gosh, he's way back in there.
Did we lose him?
I lost him. Dang it. It was literally inches from my hand right here. I should have gone for the hand catch, man. Dude, he's all the way back there in those reeds. I can't get him. But, here's the thing. We tried to catch him in daylight. He went all the way back there and came all the way right back to this spot. There's a good chance this frog will be back. I think I gotta catch him by hand. He's too smart for the net. This frog knows exactly what is happening. He's impossible to catch. This is crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, this is day 2. We are back to the spot where the blue bullfrog was spotted yesterday, and this morning it has returned to its territory, which certainly proves my theory that this frog is running this little pocket of water. Now, I can see the frog. I'm not going to try to catch it during daylight. It is way too smart. This may be the smartest frog I've ever encountered. I mean, it was playing cat and mouse with me last night. It was just a game. It led me back into the reeds. I got bitten up by mosquitoes. It was rough. I've never had a more difficult struggle catching a frog. So what we're gonna do is wait until sun gets low in the sky again, just at sunset. When this frog is back in the spot, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna take another attempt. I will attempt with the net at first, but if it gets close, gotta use my hand. Last night, the frog was literally about 1.5 feet away from me, and I defaulted to the net. I should have gone with my gut and tried to catch it with my hand, and I might have had it, but we're gonna give it one more shot tonight. Okay, here we go. The third attempt at catching the blue bullfrog. What I've done tonight is brought a smaller net plus the long extended net. Gotta up our chances, and if it's not with the net, it's going to be with my hand. Yes, that's him, that's him, that's him. You ready?
Yep.
Oh. Just isn't in the right spot. You got him. You got him. Oh, whoa, whoa, no! 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 What? No! Oh my gosh. Dude, you had him.
Hold on. Let's rewind and slow it down. Look at the evasive maneuver this frog pulls off as it springs from inside the net and does a full nosedive back into the water and disappears beneath the duckweed. Now look at this. Freeze frame. Zoom in. My hand is less than an inch away from making a swooping and unbelievable catch. But I missed it. It was so close!
Dude, I had him.
I know, I saw him.
Are you kidding me? I can't believe that just happened. There's nothing more frustrating than literally having the frog you've been trying to catch for 3 days in your net and then have it spring out just as I was trying to get my hand in there to keep him locked in position. Don't got him yet, we're gonna keep trying. Is it day 3? Day 3, attempt number
4.
4? Mm-hmm. Official attempt number 4. The blue frog is back. I'm gonna walk over to the car and get the net. Do you guys believe in miracles? Is it possible to catch a blue frog? We're about to find out. This is it. This is our last day. Okay, let's see what happens.
Okay.
Oh,
it's already on to us. And that's it.
There he goes. All the way back.
I don't think we even had a chance.
I literally wasn't even able to set foot in the water.
The legend of the blue frog.
There he goes. Went back further. That's it. The blue frog is officially uncatchable. There is a frog that is not capable of being caught by Coyote Peterson. Well, maybe we'll have to return to Middle Bass Island at some point to see if the blue frog still manages to evade capture.
The legend of the blue frog persists. Will we catch Bluey on our next adventure? Stay tuned. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
What's going on, guys? Okay, so in the saga of the blue frog, which I know many of you have seen that episode,
I am back on Middle Bass Island. Now, I'm completely unprepared, no camera team, no nothing, but I came out and just for the heck of it decided to see if I could find the blue frog. I did not find the one that you guys saw on the previous trip, but I found this frog, which also looks like it may be some sort of genetic abnormality. It has crazy blue coloration and lighter green speckling. What we're gonna do is hold on to the frog until daylight so we can get a better look at it. This is awesome.
In the summer of 2020, I came upon a sight I never expected to see.
Dude, that is a blue frog. Look at that frog.
Where?
Right there. Oh my gosh, we gotta catch this frog, guys. I can't believe what I'm looking at. This is insane.
For 3 days, Mario and I pursued this frog. Day and night, we attempted to catch and share this beautiful blue beauty with the Coyote pack. Yet this super spring-loaded creature outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and outplayed me like no frog I had ever been witness to. Coyote Peterson was truly defeated by a blue frog.
I can't believe that just happened.
I returned to the scene of my defeat several times in the following weeks, but the blue frog was nowhere to be found. The Phantom of Middle Bass had disappeared, and the legend was born. Then on a random trip back to the island, without any expectation of seeing this legendary frog, and with no proper camera team, a new blue was spotted, and I totally redeemed myself.
Okay guys, so here's what's happened. Last night, I was out investigating the same swamp where I had seen a bullfrog once before, a blue bullfrog. You may remember an episode from a few weeks ago called Blue Frog Must See It to Believe It. Well, I didn't anticipate seeing that frog again considering I had scouted one other time. I was back last night and lo and behold, I found a different blue frog. No, this is not the same blue frog that evaded capture last time. This is another example of a frog that has gone through a color mutation. Now, it's not so much why is this frog blue, it's how did this frog become blue. It is blue because it has a color mutation known as axanthism. Think of it like this. If you're mixing colors together, blue and yellow make green. The base layer of bullfrogs is actually blue, but this frog lacks a yellow pigmentation in its skin. If the base is blue and the second layer is yellow, when those mix together, that is why we perceive frogs as being green. This frog has a lack of that yellow pigmentation, which is what makes it appear to be sapphire. Now, a color abnormality like this can be rather frequent in nature, and it happens quite often in different amphibian species, not only in frogs, but also in salamanders. Although scientists predict that finding a blue bullfrog is about 1 in 30,000 frogs. So I definitely consider this quite the anomaly and a pretty incredible find. The reason that I'm guessing that there is genetic mutation happening here on Middle Bass Island is because this is a very isolated population of bullfrogs. There are very few predators other than herons and snapping turtles in this environment, which is allowing these frogs to just continuously reproduce. There are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of bullfrogs living in this marsh. So after a while, it's not unlikely that there's going to be some sort of mutation that happens where you have a color variation like this. I think we all remember the sapphire crayfish, and I think it would be rather fitting to call this the sapphire bullfrog. But just so we're clear, this is not a new species. It is a true bullfrog, it just has a color mutation. The more this frog is out in the sun, warming itself up for the day, the brighter that blue color is going to get. When this amphibian is cold or it's hunkered down, they have the ability to shift the chromatophores in their skin, which of course can help keep them more camouflaged. Now, the problem a blue frog like this faces is that it cannot camouflage properly. I'm actually really pleased to see that the frog has grown to this size to begin with. A lot of animals that do not have the proper coloration for their environment end up being easily predated upon by other predators. The way that I caught this frog, which actually happened off camera, is I did shine it with a flashlight, but it wasn't in the water, it was actually up on land. I used the long extendable net,
got the net over top of the frog, and was able to quickly pounce on top of it and get it scooped up. What I want to do now is give you guys an up-close comparison between the blue bullfrog and a normal green bullfrog. Now, these are the exact same species, about the same size, but you'll notice how different looking the blue mutation is from the green one. Let's start with the eyes. The eyes of the green bullfrog are bright amber in coloration surrounding that black pupil, but the blue bullfrog's eyes are almost completely black and brown. That again has to do with the lack of yellow pigmentation in this frog's body. When it comes to camouflage, there's no question about it. The green frog is going to blend in much better within a swamp or marsh environment with lily pads and duckweed. The blue bullfrog, especially when you turn it sideways like this, you can see is so much more likely to stand out amongst a green environment. My theory on that, as to why I was unable to catch the blue bullfrog last time, is that they're more agile and more in tune with any movements within the environment. The second they feel the water shifting or a difference between light and shadows, they immediately think, oh no, I'm no longer hidden, something's getting close, it may eat me, I better spring off into action and find myself a better hiding spot. I wonder if they're talking, saying to themselves, what are we doing right now? Are we being filmed? Were we abducted by aliens? Are we about to be famous on YouTube? Without question, this blue bullfrog is probably going to be the most famous frog we have ever filmed. Well, it's taken me several trips back to Middle Bass Island, but I was finally able to find and successfully catch the one and only blue bullfrog. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, time to get these two hoppers back off into the swamp.
A quick search of the internet will reveal that several blue frogs have shown up in 2020, including specimens cited in Texas, Indiana, Louisiana, Iowa, and of course, Ohio. Some say these frogs are 1 in a million, which is probably pretty accurate considering the number of tadpoles that hatch out and grow into frogs every season. Yet while it is rarely witnessed due to the elusive nature of most amphibians, azanathism is relatively widespread in salamander and frog populations that have a limited gene pool, like frogs isolated to an island. For me, the summer of 2020 will always carry with it the memory of the blue frog. And if you ever get the chance to visit Middle Bass Island and find yourself walking along the marsh, who knows? Maybe you too will be lucky enough to catch a glimpse of the sapphire bullfrog.